I realized shame. You should be coming up with a word every year. And my first word I ever came up with for the word game, and I don't know that I don't know, I just heard the word contentment out of nowhere. And it was right after Martin died. And during that time, I had switched jobs. I bought this house. I left Zeke, and I had relapsed after 8 years. I was a shit show, and I heard the word contentment out of nowhere. I was in so much pain. I was crying. I was just so sad, and I got this house. I don't know. I reacted every death differently. I went through four. Martin's. I spent $300,000. And bought a house and bought all new shit for the house, and then I just lost my shit. I don't like to be around anybody. I was looking at Zeke. I was looking at my options. I didn't have any money in the bank. Zeke was drunk again outside around the bonfire like a powwow. And I remember laying on the floor and I had the spins and I was really sick. I couldn't get his body out of my head, and Zeke he wouldn't even have known. I was so sick. I was so dizzy, and I just felt like that's how I felt around him. I kept looking around thinking, it's not his fault that he can't be more or do more or understand or see what I'm seeing or feeling, but he's my man, and I deserve to fucking have support in my life, in my heart, in my soul. And I felt very alone, and I'm not mad at him. Why would I be mad at him? That's what the fuck he could do. But that's not what I wanted. And that's what some of you guys are asking yourself. I had to go to work the next day after finding my boss hanging, and I was very sick. I never took a day off work. I've never taken days off work until now. This is my first time. I never took paternity leave. I've been working since I was 15, and on the farm we worked before that because my mom needed help. Then fucking I got in dysfunctional relationships, had teen kids, I mean, shit, dude. It's just been a shit show. I think a lot of us started young. And for the first time ever, we're just wrapping our mind around the fact that honestly, we have a life to live too. And there's nothing wrong with anybody. We're not mad at anybody, but if anybody, we're just kind of mad at ourselves, I guess. Really thinking we shouldn't be, because it's not like anybody told us any of those time frames. Nobody tells us anything from the old days. Wait till you're 26. They say, wait till you have your shit together. Wait till you have a job. But really, the entirety of the old days was not embarrassing your family, probably obtaining a relationship that would be accepted by your family. Because that's really what it is. So many people get a relationship and then they have to fight with their family about whether or not the person they're with is good enough for the family. Shit like that. And so if you were to actually minus all of the fights that you were having, how many of them are your own? That's what I started to realize. I was getting anxiety really bad all the time, and I needed to feel better. And I had to take control over my emotions because everybody around me just didn't really think that whatever I was saying mattered. And I don't expect anybody to do anything, but I know that I feel like a certain way. So I left Zeke. I changed my phone number. Actually, I turned my phone off. I didn't want to be contacted. I had no phone for 5 months, and then I took off. I applied because I had to triple my money, so there's not a lot of jobs that can do that, and I became a Bering Sea fisherman and took off to Alaska out of nowhere, and I didn't tell anybody I was going to do it either. The only thing I did was upload a globe, a picture of Earth, onto my Facebook wall, and I said, big change is coming, and next thing you know, I was on the fucking sea. So, I remember Zeke, and he cried one day. I remember this, he was crying, he missed me. I didn't miss him. I didn't realize he was crying. I didn't realize I wasn't going to miss him. But that shit was deep right there. And it could probably be kind of fucking how many times I cried and you never even noticed me. And I didn't mean for it to be like that, but I wasn't feeling the same. That's pretty deep, for someone to be crying. But we did go different ways shortly after, and it's been fine since. I wouldn't take him back fucking even if that was the last man. No, I would if he was the last man. No, he's cool. He's doing whatever the fuck he does. I'm not going to put a good word on what he's doing because it's not. Zeke needs to stop fucking cheating on every fucking girlfriend that he's ever fucking had, and he's already doing it to the new one. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell anybody that somebody's doing better than they are. You're pretty much trash if you literally have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 fucking relationships deep, and you literally start the next one doing the same fucking thing you lost your last bitches for. Over and over. I don't care. I don't care. Not just fucking one house either. Fucking him and his last bitch that he left me for fucking just lost their other house, and then we helped him even with that. Oh, but fucking da-da-da-da-da, fucking da-da-da. And you're like, well, I mean, I would care, but you did the same thing to us. Why does so many people call you and try to complain about shit that fucking they do to you? So this person you need to just, toxic. Lies and rumors. So somebody could be spreading, like, I don't know, that's pretty sad. Like, somebody could be saying things like blackmailing you, like, it seems like they're the type that if you guys were to do anything, if this is involving a couple or a relationship of any sort, it's picking up couple energy to me more than just like gossip energy. But let's just say, like, if you broke up with anybody and there was ever anything that was still secret that you guys did together, I'm also picking up, take it where you go. I'm picking up that this person almost asks you to do things that normally you would, like, they know some of your favorite things to do that maybe you would have, like if you smoked weed, let's just use that as an example. And then every holiday you went over there for Christmas and you and your man would go beside the house and smoke a hit of weed or something, but your parents didn't know. They would be the type to say, well, that's fine. Well, I'm going to just tell your mom that every time when we were over there, you were smoking weed. Shit like that. Like, I feel like I feel like for some of you guys, you can have a partner who you have made appear better than they are. And now you're in a situation to where you kind of really want to go. And how do you tell people? Nobody's going to believe you, by the way. Also, just so you know, nobody will believe you. You're fucked now. This is an Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation. I did the same shit, bro. Once you cover up all their shit, they got this like step fucking father, perfect charmer energy, and I shit you not. They could be like calling you the worst names ever, and the police show up and they were drunk out of their gourd, apparently, non-coherent. But the cops get there and fucking they look like they're fucking supervisor and shaking hands. It's crazy. That's how they are. That's what they do. So if you're somebody who wants to leave, you're picking up leave energy. I don't know. You'll be fine, by the way, if you want to. I'll tell you what, if you're scared that this person might tell us something that you did, let them. Because if you don't have a parenting plan, go follow your parenting plan, and the kids are fucking yours. You're not going to lose anything because this person talks shit down to you, especially not in front of the judge. Do you think the judge isn't going to fucking notice abuse? You remain chill. You're not doing anything wrong by having your heart grow apart. That is something that happens naturally, and an empathetic person, a caring person, a couples counselor, what you need to do if you want to leave is start texting this person. You might look up the policy and procedure for divorce or something, or separation. You might say, I'm thinking about leaving my partner for this reason. What would this state or this judge say about that particular reason? It'll give you different reasons that they're more prone to or not, but there are some that are guaranteed. But one thing that's very looked at in all courtrooms is the way that we talk to each other. People value maturity. If you argue in the courtroom, that is annoying to them. And if they put you down and you're not responding in a hateful way back, that shows who's the abuser. Typically what happens is the abuser will have already wrote their declaration up, and it's going to say all of your weak spots. And you're such a sweet person and you were trusting to these people that you're not going to expect that. And so what happens in the courtroom usually is your face and your heart break right in front of the judge. And so you're determined, emotionally unstable next to an evil person. And so since they're looking at the most stable person to be the winner, because the stablest person would have the ability to pay the bills if that's the case. The stablest person is going to have the ability to take care of the kids. But I also want you to know that as far as money goes, that never matters more than the person that doesn't know. That you could have no job and go live with your mom. What the judge wants to know regarding the kids is who knows the kids' schedule. So I thought I would win too as the breadwinner. I paid all the bills. Look at me. I'm fucking the only one who pays them more. No, I lost. I don't take them to the doctor's appointments. So there's a benefit to you. The fucking hardworking parent does not win. You do not win. They don't care if you have $1 million. They told me that all I sounded like I was talking about was me, me, me. And you said, me, me. I said, what do you mean? They're my fucking kids. It's obvious why the fuck I wasn't somebody who was like, Your Honor, the reason, this is what they want to hear. Your Honor, the reason why I am best fit for children is because I wake up with little Timmy in the morning and we have breakfast. I know what his allergies are. I know that he is doing outstanding in school. His conference was just last month. Found out that he has all good grades. He's in sports here. His allergies to peanuts here. He's got all his doctor's appointments up to par, and we have his eyeglass doctor's appointment here. And for lunch, he has a very small diet because maybe he has glucose issues or whatever the fuck. Like, you're the one who knows about the kid's health. That's it. The judge don't give a fuck about you as over 18. He'll say you if you're back here for fucking another dumb shit crime. It's obvious here that you, like, the adults already can't make a decision not to fucking get married and divorced. So the judge is not cool with either one of you being in the courtroom. But the fastest to get through this, the fastest, he has all these cases to do. He's not here to fucking talk about how Wanda fucking did this and that. For one, don't ever fucking talk about anything there that was not already on that paper. And I'll tell you already, I was going over this because some of you guys are thinking about actually making that move away from this person, and you can. If you've been together this whole time, you don't have a parenting plan. You won't, because you would have had to serve them, and that would have been really awkward. So if you want to leave, then fucking do it. You need to go down to the county clerk and fucking have the clerk. A lot of people are going to try to tell you how to do this process. Don't fucking work with them. You don't need more people knowing about it. They'll gossip your shit, and all of this will get to your other person. They will beat you to it. If you stall and threaten on this, the enemy takes your shit and does it for you. They do it against you. I'll tell you, these enemies that you're working with right now, you're not wrong for making this a slow. That fear you feel inside, I'm starting to feel it. And it is the fear of the wrong move being made, not making one. It's speaking up too soon and letting them fucking find out. They are the fucking perfect example of fuck around and find out on that group. Everything that you ever told them will go out on that table, and it will amplify by 10, 20 times. I've never had more of a broken heart than fucking when I was in that courtroom. It was terrible. I also want to tell you, wherever you file your shit, anywhere, if you file the parenting plan wherever you are, that is where court will be. So if they are from a different state and they take that baby, or they have family elsewhere, they can actually legally have those kids there, and you will not be able to touch them. I have a friend who fucking is amazing. She loves her kids so much. She is one of the few people that got with a narcissistic man. In my opinion, there's not many like this. He's gotten, I think he's up to the 4th baby mama now. He's a baby mama collector. So we've heard about women collecting men for child support. This guy does it to girls. There's 2 of them that have done this now that I've seen. Only 2. We have a Justin and a Dustin, actually, ironically. So, yeah, all these girls were super beautiful. They were stunning. And he broke their soul down. And they wanted him to love them, how a girl would. And they mutilate them purposely. That's how any narcissist will do. So when you're going through any type of situation like this, somebody definitely sees your beauty. They definitely see your worth. But in a narcissist's mind, or a controlling person's mind, that belongs to them, period. They don't see it as valuable when you get a new job. They see that as a threat. Because what if you get a new job and you like it? Are you going to want to spend more time there? Or how's this going to affect me? That's how I think. The best way to feel how the fuck they feel when anything goes outside of their schedule is if you were busy and had a real tight schedule and somebody asked you to do a favor in the middle of that you did not want to do, that you fucking were irritated. They have the maximum, most annoyance levels possible when it comes to you doing anything, because these people don't look at you like you're your own being. You are a piece of property. You're an extension of them, which means arm's reach. Where are you going? And the reason is because the best way the trait that they suffer from is not sharing. They do not share. They're the kid that fucks straight. That's mine. Don't fucking touch it. And it doesn't matter if there's all these cards. They want all of them are theirs. They have the that's mine energy. There's a million ways that you can go about seeing what people are behaving like in a variety of ages. And that's how you do it in psychology. You'll see their behaviors whenever they get halted, and you'll just be like, okay, so they have the that's mine energy. Where would that's mine energy develop from? Obviously, very young. A that's mine kid, they could either have developed that from not sharing in the first place, and maybe they were more favored by a parent over other parents, and then maybe it was the complete opposite and they were not favored at all, and they had a sibling that was always that's mine, and they have PTSD over it, and now they fucking are very possessive because everybody took everything. So there's like that, you know, entitlement fucking mentality, and then there's also the PTSD ones, but it's the same fucking thing. And so it's like being able to figure out more so what they're thinking and why and how. And it's not because, I mean, at this point, you already have got to have figured out that every strategy you've ever used or tried isn't working. And that's because we're not even meant to do that. As partners, we take on a lot. We think, oh, we should be there for them. We should help them. I'll get to know what's bothering them. I'm their wife. I'm their husband. I'll help them. No, that's why there's professionals there. When you go telling your partners what you would think would be the right thing to do, like anything that's bothering you personal, you might find out as a reaction that they don't want anything to do with what you actually thought they did, which can hurt you and make you feel like all that time you were talking, they were completely not there with you all of a sudden. And then there's just so many emotions that go with an emotional experience as an individual. And it's so painful to know that you could have been talking all of this time and then wake up and actually finally say whatever as clearly as you've assumed you need to get the point across, and find out still somehow they don't seem to care at all. And it's not confusing. They don't want you to feel cared about. Because when you feel like you have any worth whatsoever, they actually think you might be a threat to them now. But it's not a threat. You are not thriving and doing as much as you could for these people by the way that they're beating you down. You know that you are already theirs. You belong to them. You love them. You will do twice, 10, 100 times more. If they showed you anything, they won't. They have a disorder. And the best, you might look it up. Queen of Pentacles, though, you have fucking money coming because you're a beautiful person. And Empress, you're a great mom. You'll be fine. You are supposed to be doing work for the Lord. Some of you guys really believe in God, and you gotta. And I do too. I don't follow the Christian religion. I want nothing to do with it, actually. Now that I've actually looked into everything, it's the last religion that I would fucking follow. But before that, I was going all the time. My family's half Mormon, half Christian. I love it. I mean, I love all of them. I don't get baptized as anything because I never felt like I had a true connection to any of the churches. And I also felt like I wasn't in agreement with the rules that the churches were making. I don't follow no fucking rules. I haven't been married. I just, it's not that I won't. It's that I don't really believe in rules. I believe that they're necessary. Like on the 10 Commandments, we say, thou shalt not cheat. Well, that makes sense. There's a lot of reasons why we shouldn't cheat. You fucking, obviously, we don't even go there. Thou shalt not steal, get that. But can I see when and where they will? Yeah, I've been on the streets in a fucking Astrovan before, and fucking you're hungry. I remember plenty of days when fucking we had scrounged up enough fucking cents to go to the dollar store and we were deciding on what package of cookies to buy. And it wasn't because I needed to be on the streets, but at the same time, when I think about the household that I was in, it was all just shit. Everything was shit. You don't really know. People say change, get better, get better. They kept saying that the whole time I was down there in Grant County. Get better, you piece of shit, get better, you piece of shit. Do you want to know something? I cried so many fucking times in that apartment wanting to get better. I did everything that I could. I learned from every mentor. I memorized everything that they said. But you know what I realized in the end? Not only were they abusive and fucking gaslighting, they were literally telling my story and they were breaking us down. You can't get better when you don't know what to do. You haven't learned anything more. When you don't have an answer and things are not getting better and you've tried all that you know, you need to give it to God. let go and let God is a thing. I did it with Martin shit finally. I burned a lot of stuff from my boss, but I actually found something, by the way, that I've been telling everybody about, and I'm going to fucking blast it all over the internet because Pam and Siobhan are murderers. Fucking dumb bitches. I had to get to a place where I was stable enough to fucking deal with these fucking idiots. And you will too. I want you to know that when you're in an environment with people that, see if I can find it again. It don't matter. Anyone who ever fucks you over, if you're like me, you can try every day of your life, but you'll have to die for you to ever stop coming for them. Yep, we're all right here, you fucking ugly bitches. And a lot of clients were talking about you, Siobhan, saying that you were going around telling everybody how stinky Martin's body was after he died. Fucking cunt. Yeah, I'm literally shaking. Martin will not ever. That's all his fucking phone being used after he died, guys. Dates on there. Look at the fucking text changing, asking when he became the owner of his own school. Look on the side. Take a picture of that. Screenshot it. Siobhan and Pam killed Martin. Literally, dude. There was 3 students that fucking came to me and described Martin's dead body. Literally, dude, and said that they seen videos posted on YouTube under Martin Dow. But I was so distraught. But that, yeah, you're a liar. Oh, by the way, I'm the one who has the... Martin paid off that school, too, by the way. In 2007, August. You know what they didn't sell him? I'm so pissed. They kept the piece of land underneath the building. You know what they were charging him to fucking have the land underneath his school a month? $40,000! He couldn't have paid that, you fucking dirty bitch. Pam was hacked into fucking Glenn's email account. That's illegal. And you literally were talking to Martin for a year and a half. You think I don't fucking know what the fuck you were doing? Bitch, I know everything. Martin, after he died. Wow, October 24th. Or October 24th. Wow, that's interesting. And a different text even, because you're a fucking idiot. I need to clarify the business established and the ownership date. Why? Because you're going to murder him. You need to figure out what the fuck, bitch. Literally, dude. So Shane Hughes from literal... Which one are you from? Umpqua Bank, Shane Hughes. You were talking, they were scamming you, bro. This dude was dead. On the side, all of these. It just goes back and forth, changing. I became the owner in 2006. Really? You did, huh? Because it's August of 2007, you fucking dumbass. Fucking moron. You don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah, Pam Burwell and Jennifer Martin never should have got that school. Jennifer Martin literally had gotten in a fight with Martin like 9 months prior. And I'm not going to lie, he was acting stupid, but that doesn't mean that you should kill him for the school. And he pushed his sister, because who wouldn't? She should be punched. But she called the cops on him and got him thrown in jail. And so he was actually 9 months clean when he died. It's in the autopsy. He had 0 drugs in his system. So if anybody told you that, that's a lie. And literally, dude, next thing you know, Jennifer's at the school. Martin hated Jennifer, hated her. And also Pam had been trying to get the school. She was in Martin's fucking 8-week class when she was 16. And I guess she literally was like envious of Martin the whole fucking time and actually hoped that she would get his own school over him. And it was a father-son business. Why would, you're a weirdo. Get away. She never even did anything with her life after the 8-week program. She stayed at the Glendow and became the 8-week teacher. So she's never once even had a stylist job. She sat there and acted like she was so fucking amazing, but really, the whole time, she was sitting there plotting against my boss. One day I walked by his office and Siobhan and Pam were in his office and they had a stack of papers and they were on the phone with Glenn and they were actually getting students to write declarations against him. saying that supposedly he was inappropriate sexually with them. He never once was inappropriate with me. I worked for him for 6 fucking years. I'm on a porn fucking site. How the fuck does a fucking man who's supposedly disgusting never fucking get caught looking at me like that, bitch? And he looked at you like that, not me? I doubt it. You're a liar. You want to be looked at so fucking bad that you would do something like this. That's about it. I have never in my life caught a man not getting caught looking at somebody if he looks. It's a thing. They can't help it. But I can imagine a bitch that's never looked at, which all of them were not fucking, they were weird. Siobhan thought she was going to get Martin school. Siobhan got Martin hella on cocaine. That's true. That is true. Siobhan was the type of bitch who would fuck. She was a trash bitch. She literally fucking is the type that'll use anything. She's the girl that will bounce from guy to guy, and if you have it, she'll do it. She's not even a loyal user. She's one of the trashiest fucking users I've ever seen, and I want to fight you, Siobhan. So if you got a problem with anything I'm saying, let's go to the fucking ring. Otherwise, shut your mouth. Fucking, no, you're a trash bitch, dude. Facts. I caught them. They said, come in here, Tara. I said, what are you doing in my boss's office? Oh, yeah, would you want to write a declaration so that we can get Martin's school? Are you fucking stupid, bitch? I fucking straight told him you're a fucking dumbass, bitch. And I told my boss. And guess what? I fired Pam. We played it off like a fucking retirement just because we knew that you'd spent a long time there, Pam. But it's true. We fired both Siobhan and Pam. So fuck you. And also, yeah, explain this. How come my boss's phone was fucking used and you had it, bitch? That's a fact. So the school's getting sold March 8th. And if anybody cared, one other thing you need to take in consideration, Jennifer is the only living fucking inheritor. All of her other brothers have committed suicide now. Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. But I mean, mostly it's just interesting because you thought that you were slick. Bitch, I have all of this information. Unbelievable. I'm so fucking irritated. Yeah, October 20th. I need to clarify the ownership of the business, bitch. Dude, you guys are so stupid. Oh, I hope I filled this out correctly. Please let me know you received this and how it looks, Martin Dow. You're a disgusting bitch. And honestly, I'm going to literally take you out. Don't matter who you ever are. If you ever fuck with me, bitch, karma's patient. But there's more. Where's it at over here? You guys are so stupid. Yeah, look, sent items. Look, you forwarded this message on 10/28/16. Again, he's dead. They had his fucking house sold. They had every account. They murdered my boss. Pam, Siobhan, and Jennifer murdered my boss. Facts. Pam Burwell, Jennifer Martin, and Siobhan Brown need to be investigated for murder. I have evidence that shows my boss's phone was in their hands and they were contacting. I'm going to bring this to the bank. That's the best way to do it. So today I'm going to Umpqua Bank and I'm going to have every phone that was connected that day because this is a federal crime. So that's what I'm doing. And I am going to take this paper to the bank. So if these were your phones that were messaging from my boss, who is not a predator, because there's no way that anybody could be around me and not want to fuck it. Sorry, but it's true. So yeah, Umpqua Bank is getting this. And by law, federal law, who fuck your police? I'll take it to every fucking Umpqua Bank in town so that it won't matter. You're done. You're done. Did you think that actually I wasn't coming for you, you fucking ugly bitch? Glenn and Betty Dow. Yeah, you remember what Martin, you know what Martin told me too? He was worried about you guys. I was doing a student in the middle of the middle floor. He came up to me in a panic. He said, Tara, I need you to do something for me. He said, sign this, please. He made me his next of kin, by the way, you fucking ugly bitches. I have everything. He told me, if anything ever happens to me, Tara, you are the only one I trust with my paperwork. That's pretty dope. Because you know why? Because I don't care about money. I own that school, you dumb bitch, and I don't even want it. For one, you're a liar. I'm not even here today because I own Glendow and you fucking had to murder somebody. You know that that's my school. I'm here because you murdered my boss. So I had to calm down enough to tell you that I'm coming again. But honey bunny, you're going down. And we're tracking all of your fucking EMIE numbers, and like you're literally going to be tracked because you frauded a bank. So I'm also going to email YouTube and ask them to pull up those videos since I am a YouTube employee now. Because 3 students came to me that were from different floors and described my boss's outfit, the scene, and they didn't even know each other. And they said it was posted on YouTube under the name Martin Dow. Why would that be? Were you getting paid from far? Like, what the fuck? Either way, all I'm saying is that when you deal with this stuff, you got to be emotionally stable. In fact, let's just do this together now. Step 1, documents. All evidence in court has to be proven. Hearsay will never do you anything but make you look like a fucking uneducated idiot in the courtroom. I'm going to spray that really good because you don't have to go anywhere to do anything anymore. Oh, yeah. I also seen somebody that dated your son, Pam, that said you were a bitch. I laughed. I said, oh, I couldn't even imagine dealing with you. I was going to school to be a fucking criminal defense attorney, you fucking idiot. I went to school for law. I just chose education, and it was probably because I needed to come fire you after I became the manager. Stupid idiots. Make sure it's nice and clear. Don't want any errors. I know they had me go find him too. It's because he was going to leave me that school. So they tricked me. They acted like they didn't know what happened to him too. They said go check on him, and I did, and found him. And I think they thought that that would break me. Well, sure, it did, but I just handled it the natural way that somebody would handle it. People get broken and then they come back around. Honey, you'll never get away from me. I try to let go, and it's just not a thing. Umpwa Bank. Let me see. I need to report a fraud to Umpwa Bank. Mm-hmm. Well, we have a 1-800 number here. Let me see. How would that work if we did a 1-800? They're going to need just the information. Okay, let me see. I'm thinking I'm just going to walk down there, honestly, just because. See. Does the Umpwa Bank fraud unit have an email address? Yeah, it just wants you to call. There's no point in calling because I just need to show. But yeah, see, look at all this. Okay, so this is the deleted section, bro. I wonder who Deborah Roop is. But the one I was looking for was cell phone password. They actually have it written over here on fucking what is my cell phone password so that I can contact the bank after I'm dead from multiple different fucking phones and different scripts. I'm in cursive on this one. I have the year wrong on this one. I'm dead here. And then I forwarded on the 28th. I've been dead for days. And then I show you that. I found my boss. They even claimed there was a suicide letter now all of a sudden. No, there was not. And then I said, well, let me see it because you're lying. And they were like, so they just kept saying lies, lies, lies. You're a weird bitch, dude. And you killed my boss. Let's see who these people are. Brittany. And see, why are those over the top of that? It's so weird. See, building maintenance applications after he died. Cancer patient care. What the fuck? Look at, Bahama Cruise? Really? Bro, AT&T, what's my cell phone password, archive, apprentice bill, I bet. Andrew Dow. What? Why, Andrew? Andrew? Did you do it? Andrew? That's crazy shit. Oh my God, that's Pam's son. I could definitely see Pam having her own son do that. She would have no problem making her son live with that. What the fuck, bro? Really? Was it you, Andrew? She's a dude. He's doofy. He's doofy. Like, you could definitely picture Doofy doing that. Like, literally. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, I don't really need to do a whole lot more. You guys are fucking irritating me. It's actually more annoying. Deleted items, 40-year RSVP. That's weird. Didn't we just do our 40th anniversary or something like that? Admission positions. September. You guys are stupid. Admission positions? That's Siobhan's fucking position that I just fired her for. You guys are so pathetic. Airline reservations? I bet. American Express, Andrew Dow, Andy Smith. Who the fuck are these bitches? See, I'm telling you, I'm like getting irritated. I just want to drive to the bank right now. I really do. Just want to put you in the car and go with me. I'm getting so fucking annoyed. Like, nobody fucks my bosses over. I'll tell you, nobody will fuck you over. If you guys want somebody to handle your murder case, nobody will get away with doing anything wrong to you ever. I would have done law, and I love it. But it's hard for me because I have to fucking relive these experiences over and over. And I have to sometimes put the shit away in my cabinets. But I got fucking tons of files. I love doing law. You think that because I act stupid or goofy that doesn't mean that I fucking don't know what I'm doing? I know everything I'm doing. That's what I do. I love filing and I love law. I keep everything in a very organized. No papers even have bins. Like, it's not a thing. Everything's tabbed, everything's organized in alphabetical order. My clothes even get hung up color coded. So just because I'm funny and goofy, like, that's who I am. I have to actually have this personality to deal with you, all the people that are liars and disgusting. No, you're done, dude. I hate you touching my boss. And Siobhan is disgusting. I've hated her since she was in the parking lot, and she was such a trash bag. She would sit there. Dude, I had 19 students come up to me and tell me, I'm tired of Siobhan asking me. Siobhan was such a druggie. She literally fucking would take anything that you had. I had 19 students come up to me as the manager telling me that she was saying, oh, well, I'll give you color. Because, like, at the front desk, she was handling the front desk. And she would, like, be in charge of the appointments. And she was telling them straight up, like, trade me some of your pills. And if you trade me some cocaine, whatever you got. She's like, if you do a trade, I'll give you the good services and not the bad ones. I had several students that were even trying to get clean and even wing themselves. Go lay down. Go wing themselves. Bro, you better get the fuck away from me. Fucking I hate people around me when I'm pissed. Don't fucking try to hug me when I'm seriously mad either. I don't want it. I don't need anybody around me when I'm like doing shit. Barbizon modeling school. I taught that one twice. Yeah, dude. I'll tell you what, dude. God, karma for one, if you don't know how that works, which is a funny thing that they're trying. This isn't motivated because they're selling the school on March 8th, but they are. And there is, it's beyond obvious here how so many people who have been, if you're 50 or older, dude, I can only imagine how it's been for you to live with all of the fucking surrounding people in your fucking generations. Not only are they just completely evil, they are controlling, they are narrow minded, they are negative and pessimistic, they're envious, they're jealous, they're hateful, they're fake. There's so many disgusting characteristics in people that are 50 and older. And of course, they're there for the younger ones too, but things have changed so much. That at least we have a lot more options to choose from.
Hi, sorry we missed your call. We're busy helping other customers.
Yeah, I pass that bank all the time. Sometimes you just gotta get yourself to where you need to be because that's what I'm talking about. When you're emotionally fucking upset about something, you're very passionate. And people that obviously have planned all this out clearly are not that smart. Look at all of these discrepancies here. I mean, ridiculous. They contacted a bank, which is the best person because I did ask the police for help, and I feel like the police were working with them. As well as they tried to even bring on a family friend of a lawyer, which is not going to happen. It was my duty to run the school until the case was closed. His will came up missing. By law, you have to go to the previous will, which would have been his father who was dying. And so Jennifer actually was the only live inheritor. And that was what they want. No, it does. That would have never. Why the fuck would Jennifer and Martin just went to jail and was on probation and fucking got charges over Jennifer? You think he would really put it in there? No, he was scared. They were all like on. That's where the fuck the money went. It wasn't my boss was fucking a drug addict. Siobhan fucking literally was like, I want to be fucking sugar baby. And literally she was with people for maybe 3 to 6 weeks max. She I don't know if you guys even remember that year that she came to fucking school in those Daisy Dukes, and it was Hoop Fest, and she looked like a little fucking cowgirl thing, but that was during that time. Mass drug use. She was sleeping with everyone. Everyone. It was disgusting. It was embarrassing. I had 19 students come to me. She was going around telling everyone that she was getting the school. And I don't care who gets the school. I just think you're trash for being a teacher and actually telling kids stuff like that. She would tell them that she had such a hard time being intimate with people because of an experience that I don't believe was true at all. She would talk about being attacked inappropriately And she would also be adding that in with a story about how she's an SB. And she was bragging about literally going shopping on everybody's money. Even Lance, the one that was the bartender manager down at Crave, really liked her a lot. And he's different now too. He's evil now too. But no, she was just running through everyone. I'm pretty sure she dated one of Maram's friends, possibly. All of them were buying her shit. And this is the main thing, though, that she's a trash bag. You just know that anybody's a trash bag when they're not loyal to a drug. You don't find people that do cocaine, they're like, yeah, sure, let's just do meth today or whatever. She was one of those. She would take care of anything that you got, she would take, she would use, she would lose. And she spent a bunch of Martin's money. She got Martin on hella cocaine too. And we lost like a whole fucking bank account worth of shit. And literally, dude, her and Pam were both trying to get to school, and they were both fucking using each other to do dumbass shit. Obviously, Siobhan, where are you at? Well, you helped Pam. You're not even involved in the school, you idiot. Did you see that? How stupid two dumb bitches that are actually working against each other are so pathetic that they'll fuck everybody over to be on a team that there's nobody on a team of. You know, all that happened in the end is probably all these people that were involved in one person's goal, which would be Jennifer getting to school. And Jennifer's Pam's obviously Jennifer's little bitch. And who cares? In the end, you know, hopefully everybody will just. Oh, and also, guys, be careful because Pam Burwell is the abusive women's church leader over at, what is it? That center, youth life center. Yeah, the life center out on fucking whatever way, fucking out here over by fucking Sunset Hill. She's the church group leader for the women's abusive. So if you're in that church group, know that she is literally the most abusive person I've ever met in my life, beyond my mom. She is the most absolute abusive person I've ever met in my fucking life. She literally didn't know any of the students' names. She didn't care about the students. And she was actually trying to sleep with Maram. Facts. So, facts. I don't care. If you want to do shit, get ready to be blasted, bitch. Literally, dude. I have nothing to hide. So I put all my shit out here the whole time. I've had people talk shit about what I am and what I'm not. Well, there you go. I didn't go through everything that I went through for no reason, sweetheart. I went through so that I could get the behind the scenes feel of really their personalities. I wanted to know anything that they knew before we went after everybody. I've now worked with Human Resources, OSHA, in the courthouse, at the DSHS office. I do resumes. I help people build jobs. I do background checks. I do everything. I can do the laws, the regulations. I know at what point you can get financial aid and lose it. I know what age you have to be to not have your parents on your application. I know everything. So the whole time when everybody was like, oh, what's Tara doing coming for you? Everybody knows that real killers move in silence, bitch. You loud as fuck. We don't have all the skills of a murderer and a loser and a fucking evil person. So somebody that's coming for somebody like you normally would go through a college degree to get where you are. So I've had to learn it. But what you didn't learn, honestly, is that, honestly, people still fucking knew what a lying-ass idiot you were. And the people that they think that they have in their life who support them, they think that, oh, I'm a church, they have support. Do you, though? I gotta be honest with you, Pam Burwell. One of my favorite stories is the fact that you applied to be an Africa worker. She applied to work in Africa 2 times in my 8-week class, bro. Now, I knew I didn't like that bitch from day one. She's the type of bitch that wants to embarrass you in front of everybody. Like, for example, these were some main questions. She would ask you about hair services and quality of hair, and she would wait for you to give her an answer just to fucking literally embarrass you and tell you that you were wrong. She would say that people that have virgin hair are the only ones really that matter. You don't even have virgin hair, you ugly fucking bitch. And literally, dude, you would be like, you wouldn't really know. You would really not know. And she would literally embarrass you. She would, yeah, that's definitely not virgin hair, Mandy. So, see, guys, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Mandy thinks she has virgin hair. And this is exactly when things go bad in the salon. So, doubtless the man, baby. You know, it would literally be something like that. I noticed it, and I was like, what the fuck? And I did not know at that time that Martin would want me to teach. He asked me for a few years after I left, please come teach, please. And I didn't because you know why? I've seen all the teachers that were there, like Corey Ellicksman, bitch, literally fucking. He, by the way, he said, "You gotta come work for me, please." He said, "These other instructors are not cutting it." He was begging me for 2 years. But finally, I did one day. Zeke threw coffee in my fucking face in the kitchen. Nothing new for Zeke. And I thought to myself, I can't do this shit any fucking more. And I thought, alright, I'm gonna take Martin's offer. I'm going back to the school. I'm gonna get a second degree. And I did. So it's funny how things work out. And I ended up becoming the manager of that fucking school. It's crazy. So there's the truth to the stories. I think that a lot of times I run around like this because I know a lot of shit that people don't. And at first, when you go to express things like this, it comes out because you're crying, you're dealing with a death, you have some funeral services, it's a lot. But you're right in your heart. A lot of times I'm going to tell you the cases will close out and it won't be on your behalf. It's a lot. It's hard because these are people that you love. You have to watch all their shit get taken. People sit in their spots that shouldn't be there. People they hated. People cry and act like they're so sad when they never even paid any attention to you. I have to walk by you guys. Well, maybe I'll put it on. So I took my pants off. Don't judge me. She was like, "Where'd she go?" I'm always just on weird shit all the time. Well, maybe there's someone here. Just know that you are not wrong about anything. I know you're not. I know you're not because you're in my group. And we are got to be the most least heard, but the loudest motherfuckers on earth. And it's because we have a lot to say that really matters. And we have been disrespected. Martin was one of us. They didn't know my boss. They didn't like him. They do the same thing to me and my family. They hate me. They fucking talk shit about me every day. I know exactly how Martin feels and what he's going through. He deals with the same thing. If you're somebody who feels like your family you can never fucking do good enough for them, that's exactly how he felt. And that's why I love my boss so much. And it's so sick. My mother even fucking said, they go around spreading rumors saying, seems weird how Tara cares so much about Martin. Seems like they were fucking. Oh my God. You guys are disgusting bitches. That the most important thing in the world to somebody, that somebody else could say something disgusting like that. And I'll tell you another thing that really makes me mad. My mom had an intimate relationship with somebody that she should not have. And sometimes she talks about it. It's very disturbing for me to listen to. She claims it was the most important and passionate relationship that she's ever had in her life. It's, like I said, extremely inappropriate and it's disturbing. And I don't know how she forgets that fucking she shouldn't talk about weird shit like that. But she acts like that because she fucking liked it. Or it meant something to her, that it's not as disturbing as it fucking is. And then she's the type that literally will go call the police on everybody if they do anything that she doesn't want them to do. Forgetting those things. And one day there she goes again, talking about it. I said, I gotta ask you to stop doing that. I said, I can't listen to you talk about that anymore. It's really just completely illegal for one, and it's disgusting and it's disturbing for two. And she said, fuck you, Tara. You don't even know how we felt about each other. Blah, blah, blah. Another damn fucking good reason why the fuck we gotta listen to another stupid thing. And fucking cry for her, but she can't even fucking have empathy for none of her children. And she said to that, fuck you, Tara. She said, at least my boss didn't hate me so much he went home and hung himself. And I thought, okay, well, that's that. And so just know that that's all you need to know. In a moment of your true despair, who the fuck says what to you? Because what you're dealing with is real. And that's why the Villain Bloods was created. Because you are protected in my group. I would die for my people, and I will also fucking fight for my people. And fight isn't even the end to it, without putting words on it. All the time in the world could pass. But if you ever do anything to this group or anyone in it, we will fucking be there to see you at some point. You will never get away. You won't get away even when you die, because in my opinion, we're God's workers. We think very different than other people. We love our God, and we have that direct relationship with God. We don't need rules, religions, and structures to have a spiritual relationship. We understand that spirituality is larger than religion. Spirituality is all religions together, and it's necessary. Because obviously the Mormons, they believe in dressing appropriately. They believe in keeping themselves covered. I think that's great. They're very sweet. They fucking go door to door, which is both great and dangerous all at once. With human trafficking, you guys have got to stop doing that. There's the girls are going to get pulled in, okay? You've got to stop. You need to understand there's traffickers in our fucking country all over door to door. You sending those girls out there, they're going to fucking get hurt. That's got to be, you guys need a new policy. God's great, but you don't put fucking kids at risk. These are 18-year-old little kids. That's a fact. You just need to think straight. The prophets and stuff, they asked me to be a prophet. They keep telling me I'm a prophet. Isn't that cool? It's pretty crazy shit. I've had multiple, they come over here in groups. I do campfire, bonfire things. I haven't done it since I became tarot-y. I just became tarot-y over, like, I don't know, I didn't mean to do it. I came across it and it just, I don't know, it made sense to me. There was a lot of things in tarot that helped me find answers. And so I don't believe that tarot is dark magic. I believe anything can be, well, even if you glare at somebody, that's a form of evil eye. That's a form of dark magic, just so you know. Dark magic is when you think hate upon anybody, you wish them ill in any way. You're doing dark magic already. Anybody can practice magic if they want to, but it's not going to matter. Anybody who has a dark soul does not, they would have to be an extremely powerful and talented alchemist, and more than likely have learned from a leader who was very opposite of evil and then taken it and been a pure blood, but actually undercover. It wouldn't be like me. I could definitely see myself turning anything into power. Because you'll get to this point where you do it out of a passion to defend the people, and then finally you fucking have had enough and you flip and you take over the world. Easy. How are we going to take over the world if we want to know? We can spread one medical rumor. People, it seems, I study everything. I watch everybody's moves. I watch them scurry this way and scurry that way, and I see what topic made them do it. If you're actually using your head, you will not only see that people need to go bye-bye anyway. Which area do you want to look at? The fucking scandalous ones? The narrow-minded ones? The fact that we don't got any water left to drink in the country? Where do you want to look with any of this shit? It's Putin. We got fucking Obama trying to take over. I mean, where in the fuck do we not have to fucking watch our own back and actually start thinking about a game plan? If you really think, honestly, that now's the time to let anybody be telling you what to do, and you already don't feel comfortable talking to them, where the fuck are they going to be if the zombie apocalypse breaks out? Running like a bitch. Facts. Your man can't talk to you, or your woman can't talk to you because they're a coward and they're inexperienced with being open-minded. Even all my exes, I still know, like when Edward wanted to move, I didn't like it. Of course I didn't like it. He kept saying, what if I just get my own place and we still be together, but we slow it down a little bit? So we're breaking up because you don't want to be here. Okay. You have to actually accept that. So do I need to be mad? No. Edward had no kids. I was high. He doesn't use meth. And fucking, obviously that was upsetting for him. And the house was chaotic. It was not quiet. He's a Scorpio. They don't like chaos. I mean, there's a million things that we can do, even from our own side of view. So like wherever you're at, if you're like, well, you should, don't do that. You won't elevate when you're in a whiny position. You need to be accountable and you need to be understanding. And like, even with Martin shit, I knew I was fucked. I had PTSD like no other. I found my boss hanging, dude. And I've seen 3 other bodies, but that one caught me off guard. But all the while, I'll tell you what, I still handled it exactly fucking like Agent Gibbs. From the moment I even touched the fucking door, I can remember the way it felt. I remember everything, every detail. I remember the crumbs on the plate because that's what I do. I photographically scan every room and all the evidence in it. There was no phone. There was no letter. You're a liar. And I can prove that because the phone came from AT&T, which means it'll track it wherever. And I assume, let me see. We're going to have to find this out. This is our last thing. We need to know by chance. Let's just call this one more time, see if they're not with a client. See if Shane even works there for all these years. That'd be surprising. That's cool though. It says confidentiality notice, man. This is intended only for the sender and recipient, man. You're not fucking my boss, bitch. I'm just excited about this. I'm excited to, oh, what? An email? He also has Facebook. Should I just put it on his wall? That's what I'd like to do. But I respect professionals and they would not appreciate that. Maybe I should just post it on Dubai. Like I said, if anybody has a problem with anything that I'm saying, you're welcome to comment in the box to have a public debate. Don't fucking bother emailing me. Don't bother doing shit because this is public now, bitch. I don't make up rumors. I can prove anything that I say and I have no reason to lie. I don't like liars. They don't like me because I don't convert over to whatever dumb shit they're doing. That's about it. So just know that if you ever come to me or for me or any of my group members, you will lose. And you will have a lifelong issue with the VBN. We don't chase, bitch. We replace. We don't care what the fuck anybody else out there is doing unless you fucking bring it to us or any of our people. If you fuck with our people, we will take you out professionally and legally because we can do that now because I'm actually licensed in all those areas. Isn't that funny? Coming up here handcuffed and now I work for all those companies. I'll never tell you. It's so funny. It's just so funny to me how that happens. Okay, let's see. How long after crime is committed with fraud at a bank do they keep records to be able to investigate back? Well, just so you guys know, if you guys need to know with like a basic thing, it says if you feel like somebody's took any money or frauded you out of your bank on a regular day, you only have 10 business days to actually report it before they do anything for you. Also, I want you to know that if you hit that button that says you got frauded, at the end of that process, your accounts are frozen and you're under investigation. So if that's not something that you're expecting, you're going to have a big surprise when you get to the end of it that says you aren't using your shit either, bro. So, if you have, my hair's getting long, it's crazy, I don't even have it long, ever. But, this dumb bitch, dude, he tried to pull a fast one, and I've already had that happen once. I don't play games. So, because my dad literally works with all the crazy people, I know how to punk your ass if need be. And so this day, I'm watching this bitch that owes me $500. He's acting kind of weird. Look like he's acting funny. So my dad mode kicks in. Actually, it's probably like my mother mode. She's Karen. My dad would have ran like a bitch. He's a Virgo. He'll come back over to your house later and rob you or something, but I started to recognize what this bitch was doing. So what do? Call Ghostbusters. No, I just said, where's my money at? He's like, when he mean, like, trying to get all lippy, I said, where's my fucking money? Give me my fucking money, dude. Because guys think they're going to punk you or something. That's funny. You're like, let me sit down and get comfortable. Literally, dude, he says, what are you going to do about it? What am I not going to do about it? I started flipping the fuck out, dude. And telling him, I don't even know what I said. I told him fucking I was either going to fucking freak the fuck out where we were, maybe tell his wife, who knows which one you want me to start with, bitch. Literally, by the time he was done, you demand, do not let anyone, and I know this sounds terrible, but like, if somebody wants to sit there and punk you, there are always ways for you to complete the job there. Never let anyone leave the area whenever you are in an argument if you can help it. Never force them to stay either, but if you can help to continue the argument in a way, because what they'll try to do is recommend, well, they'll say, fine, let's go to the bank and I'll get it for you. Negative. Cash App it. Cash App it now. You're patient, you will wait. That person is not planning on doing the right part of the deal. It's in that little moment of skirting that you will take control of that situation, and you have to act like Denzel Washington and John Q pretty much. This is not a negotiation if I'm here at this point. So you will follow always policy and procedure, but you will also come with confidence and courage and dominance, and you're going to dominate that situation because manipulators don't have anything to stand on. We have about 15 discrepancies here in this, and they consider themselves a winner. And what were they trying to achieve? Money. I don't care about the money. You took a man's life. You took children's parent. You took students, teachers. You gave me a 6-year fucking memory that honestly was very excruciating. It was horrible for me to go through this. And because of this, I wasn't even able to actually identify my own father because I'm mad about that. I shouldn't have never identified Martin over my own dad. So there's a lot of things I'm actually personally upset about on this. And I don't care if, and if you guys try to do anything at my fucking property, I have 15 fucking cameras everywhere, and you will be seen coming down the road fucking from my neighbors before you even get here. So don't even bother. Literally, dude, I am prepared for everyone, and I don't care even if I die. It doesn't matter. The fuck do we have here? Fucking all I do is do inspirational videos on how to warn people fucking about people that fucking we live on Earth with. So it's not really that great. When people talk about coming to our country now, I tell them to stay there. Not because we're overpopulated, but because our country's a fucking retard. And fucking we have our president selling us to a different country anyway, so give us some time. Why don't you just go be part of that country and then you'll own us? So it's not really, there's not a lot of blessing on this earth. It's the blessing is within God in our heart. The blessing on earth right now is that hopefully some of us have God in our heart and do actually the right thing. All the people that speak about God at these Christian churches are literally telling you that if you do anything out of what they say to do, you're going to hell, is actually their quoted shit. But do you know that that whole fucking group of people is literally, I hate to put the words out there exact, but they have inside family relationships, and they didn't even think it was inappropriate to sell people, to make them marry at young ages, but not just that, guys. But they did child porn until 83. They didn't even make it illegal until enough complaints came through OSHA. Occupational Safety Health Administration and the government made laws because of the complaints from your older cousins and siblings. And that just is just disgusting to me. Basically, we have an overall issue with abusive and secretive higher-ups. And basically what's going to happen now is, and if you're a millennial, it's your duty to expose all the abusers in your particular life. And you can do it if you want to. But if you don't, you're going to get charged with sins on that because you're not protecting your youth. And I'm talking about worldwide youth. You're not just here to fucking protect yourself. You're not here to just live your life. Not everything works out at the pace that you want it to. But karma works in the way that it should. And karma says it's patient. It says it waits for your biggest dreams to come true. Wouldn't that kind of seem like it fits since Pam finally is getting the fucking school sold March 8th or February 8th, whatever it was? That's your biggest dream. Good. You'll fucking enjoy your memory of it in prison, ugly ass. I look forward. And I know she hacked into a shit because she told me. She said for a year and a half. And I read those messages. Extremely abusive. She had hacked into Martin's dad's account. Glenn was not even responding. So all those messages that anybody talked to, Glenn, maybe even Jennifer, she probably spoke to Jennifer. She was probably against Jennifer. That is fraud. You cannot do that. I'm really looking forward to this whole thing. Because what's going to happen here is I've already reported it to the police department. Liberty Lake, I'm coming for you too. You didn't do your job right. That's my job. To be a mandated reporter. My job is to go from company to company and audit yours. I make sure that all of your rules are being followed and that all of the employees are actually being taken care of correctly. I go through your files. I look at discrepancies like this. You're in trouble. So, what's going to happen here is, and I'm going to do the same thing with Biden, too, by the way. People are wondering how Biden's going to get off stand. Well, honey, in my opinion, doing that I do therapy, I study psychology. I believe he has disassociation, Alzheimer's, and psychopathy. That's my diagnosis, personally. 2 out of 3 of those are determined on a CAT scan. That is required before he was ever president. So where do we go now? Well, we demand that. That's a demand. You don't get to tell us what you're going to do. It's required. You made the law. See, the thing about most of these people is they're the law doers. They're hypocrites. That's why there's going to be such a fun process to go through each and every one of these fucking higher ups. They did not follow their own rules. So it's easy. It's just going to be really fucking hilarious in a way because, I mean, look at all this. So I've already dealt with the Liberty Lake Police Department. I was getting so frustrated with them because I knew they were getting a payout. The lawyer and the police definitely got paid to work with these people. And I am going to come for all of you, by the way. I'm not afraid of you. I don't care. Even if I die to fucking defend my country, it's something that you sure as fuck don't do and you get paid for it. Fucking literally, I knew their addresses. I sat at this desk in my room. I was sick. I felt like Gothica. I knew all the shit and I was reporting it because at that time, lease agreement. Yeah, you know what? When my boss died, you fucking idiots, I'm not like you. I don't scurry for money. You know what I did? I didn't even fucking cry. I got there, seen his fucking ass, and I photographically fucking accepted. I knew I needed to photographically view the crime scene. That's why I feel like I'm just like, I literally do like law. The thing I don't like law is to fucking feel the way you make me feel sick. If I could deal with, I can't deal with bodily fluids and I can't deal with the trauma of the body. But as far as the investigating goes, oh, I love that part. All this part, I love it. But it fucks with me with the PTSD part. That's why I had to get out of it. I couldn't I get very passionately invested when it comes to, I'm here the whole way through. Whenever I work on a case, I've worked with everything you can think of. Rapists, murder. I've been with gang members. This year has been focused on gangs. I've worked with 3 different gang groups. I find it fascinating to work with all of you guys. That's what I love to do. That's what these nonprofit organizations are going to be going towards. That's what all this money from the channels is going to go towards. I love to shake my ass naked. So that's where it's like hard for me to follow a rule set because it's like, I can't sit here and say that I'm part of the church. If you say I have to I understand what you're saying, like that we should be dressed because, it's distracting. I get it. There's many reasons. Like at school, my kid has to go to school and they can wear crop tops. They can even be furries there. I don't see how the fuck they could concentrate. But there's places that if you want to dress the way that you want, I definitely believe that is okay. I'm going to go to the bank right now, so I'm going to change my shirt and wash my face, and I'm going to obviously dress for that scenario. So I feel as though if anybody is especially on my social media websites scrolling and you have no self, like, you can't keep scrolling because I block somebody the minute I don't like you. You get fucking one bad word in with me and you're blocked instantly. I blocked that dude earlier that said, do more feet, you'll get likes. And I said, yeah, go over here and just hit this skew and you might fucking see some feet fucking in a fucking thong or something. I don't know. I'll put a thong on my foot. If you like that, what do you want to see? How do you like my foot dressed up? You want her to wear a dress? And then him saying even ew. Right there alone is a fucking moron. You have a girlfriend. It's posted on your account. You're cheating on your girlfriend, messaging me about a personal fetish, which is the reason why I chose this industry, because of your type of people. You want me to upload my feet pictures, and you're telling me ew because I have a site where I do that professionally. You're assuming because you listen to third-party people that what you're going to find on my personal site sounds or looks just like whatever you think is ew, which I don't know anything about. So what that tells me is that you have ew people in your life who are uneducated and judgmental, and you're cheating on your girlfriend, and that basically you're a complete moron and you're a hypocrite. You're not even smart enough to not post that you're in a relationship while you're cheating. I could go to your girlfriend right now and tell her and send her the pictures, but I'm not even a dumbass bitch. So it's pretty stupid. I mean, I just want everybody to take a look and make sure you're not one of those people. I'm solid in who I am. I do nothing. Last night, I could do deals. I tell you guys about what's happening the whole time because we have to learn these personality types. Anytime you accept something into your life that you didn't want, then we lower our fucking standard. God is not going to fucking bless us with elevation when we would not treat our people like quality every time. When you make sacrifices on your own fucking self, why wouldn't we sacrifice the people? Maybe God doesn't want to make that mistake again. Maybe he never did. And I do feel like he does not want nothing to do with that Bible. That Bible is weird, and I have never been against it in my life. But literally, would you follow a leader who this is like the Hunger Games at this point. And truly, the sacrifices were never adults. They were animals and children. What do they say about that? They're the only pure thing and the only thing that can see evil and keep us safe and give us warnings before evil and dark entities arrive. Nothing in that book makes sense. And it has nothing to do with you not respecting God. Your God says, put me first because of this. People are going to play you, bro. They played me. He said, look at the biography they fucking wrote for me, bro. He said, that dude, whoever wrote it, they wanted control of you. You. There is no way in fucking hell that you're going to tell me we all put dresses on with bonnet hats. This is like a cult now in the middle of a fucking forest, hammering a man to a cross, and you're going to sit here and fucking tell me you follow that shit? You're going to sit here and fucking tell me you wouldn't stand up for your people? Well, I would. I would have never let any of you die for a mistake I made as a coward. I would never be cowardly like that. In God's name we trust, they say. So they're going to sacrifice us, is what it's saying. And it's happening right now. And this is not a fucking straight theory thing. This is sickly enough, truly happening. And everybody needs to wake the fuck up. It's not just the government, because they're not the ones I'm worried about. Just like Leonardo DiCaprio made that movie, Don't Look Up. That's exactly what it's like. And you know what's even sicker? Is that we got all these people over here trying to be in love. You got fucking literally Oprah at the White House, which is like, you got Obama looking serious. He's stressing. Biden just fucking straight weirdo. I think Trump's still just doing whatever the fuck Trump does. He's teachable though. And he ain't fucking got fucking dick hand. And we're stylists. I can help him get his hair back. And you know I'm not going to let him argue with me. We need to talk to Putin. He's sociopathic and he's a regular man. He's mad because his mom is not just a bitch, but she was abusive. I think his mom truly hurt him. He doesn't have to say anything about it. He's sociopathic. Sociopathics wanted somebody someone who was abusive to them. Sociopathics are developed from a psychopath, a true psychopath. And psychopaths are born without the part of the brain that can actually feel bad for anything that it does. And so they will have never thought what they did to him was bad. And they also, obviously, just like with Dahmer and all the other people, they have their addictions are not typically substances. They make a lot of money, and their addictions are the human body, and they usually start with animal dissection. A lot of times for those ones, it'll start with them finding roadkill, and they take it home, and then they will do those things, and then they go from there. And with them being so intelligent, they can't help but want to be more precise. I don't even want to get into this because I definitely have psychopathy in me, and I do not want. You will find that anything you study and think about within a 60-day period, your brain will program. The next thing you know, you're going to be a fucking psychopathic dissecting person. Okay, so be careful of this. But I can already see my mind channeling this very well. I'm so glad I don't like bodily fluids. Maybe that's why God was like, we're going to make her not have bodily fluids because she's going to know how to exactly do this. I can absolutely, I would no doubt have been a brain surgeon of some sort or some kind of surgeon, because when you do precision cutting of any sort, it's just beautiful. And then the sharpness of the knife. Look at how much passion. I'm already getting very excited. You're gonna bring your tools out now at this point. You're gonna want to make sure they're just great, because the organs would depend on it. You would not be able to make an error, or it would bleed out. Okay, so that's that. We're not going to do this anymore. But yes, it's not your fault when you're passionate. Passion goes either way. You can either choose to do this in the hospital or in the barn. So that's how that goes. And then you're going to now, passion is born. You're born with your true passions. Some of you love to play the guitar. Some of you like to skateboard. You got your passions. So that's how you're going to look out. And anytime just in the future, no more trying to control people. You're going to see when you said, here you go. What are you going to do with this? My dad carves demons and sticks. Jesus, you can't trust anybody with fucking anything. This is what my dad did with it. I fucking swear to gosh. You have to watch these fuckers. So what you got going here is, yes, you're very passionate. You're very passionate about that, I see. Let's say you give this to your son. He's 8. And you're like, wow, that's beautiful. Let me see that. Oh, you're like, hang on, I'm going to show you here. Demon faces. Wow. Ooh, is he mad? He's like, he's very mad, Mom. You're like, that's nice. Okay, so passions go either. Look at that one. He's got fucking teeth. Bro, they got a dark side and a good side. I told my dad, stop. Dad, you got to stop. He's like, Merry Christmas, kids. I'm like, sweet dad, because they do magic in my family. I haven't practiced it yet. We will begin alchemy for those of you who hit 5D over this next quarter. Do I know what any of that is? Fuck no. But I'm feeling it. Who fucking knows what the fuck it is? Fucking, I just get these feelings, dude, and I just roll with the feelings. You're like, I keep rolling. So that's what you need to do, because there's only 2 recipes to success. Do you feel healthy and happy while you're doing it? That's it. You don't gotta have nothing but joy, and you need to be healthy. In your heart, you know when somebody says, no, you're not doing that. You know when it hurts your feelings and makes you sad. That's what you need to start with. When another thing you're starting with is like, can you complete a problem? Do you guys have problem resolution skills in your relationship? Because when you're dealing with somebody who is not talking back to you, or you're trying to fucking resolve something, it matters, and you matter. That's disrespectful and that's abusive. You may be dealing with a covert narcissist. There's different kinds of disorders. So you need to actually look up those disorders. Look up whatever they're doing, and it'll bring it up and it'll show you what it might be. And the purpose of that is to tell you if, for one, it's something that needs medication or not because I use it. It's because you need to know what the time frame is and how they feel. And there's a lot of categories that they deliberately do it to you, and it'll explain scenarios. And in the ones where they're just straight doing it to hurt your feelings, that's really mean. That breaks my heart even telling you guys that. You'll be surprised to know you have been being played or manipulated, and you're such a good person that I'm gonna tell you right now. Basically, the best way to look at it is like, we don't look for signs of things that we don't do, and so you're gonna now learn different reasons why people get acting ways right in front of your fucking face, and you're gonna be mind blown about all the different POSs out there, dude. And you're gonna, it's not just gonna be this person, but I don't know, I ended up reading a lot, and I started to learn a lot about myself. And I thought, I wanted to stop, and I wanted to just become a better person for me. And so it started with wanting to figure out what was wrong with other people, but it humbled me. So watch for that. You have to be humbled and empathetic. You cannot be like, oh, I knew it, you're a piece of shit. Because then you would end up in king or queen in the down red. You're like the queen of hearts and you're angry. After your realizations, you stay really mad and you say things like off with their head and you never date again and you hate always and you're angry about what you realized they were doing. You have to remember a time when you felt like that. And we have, because the whole cycle is being humbled and understanding that everybody goes through things in their life at different times. And really when we're hurting, like some of you could have lost somebody to a death right now. It's you're in pain, and some people are partying and people are saying you should just stop and get back to the way we used to be. That's not a thing. People don't understand addiction. They don't understand that it's beyond a disease, you guys. Beyond a disease. There's been some debate, like if it's a choice or not. It is absolutely a disease. Addiction, you can just think. If you've never used drugs, you have a healthy peach brain. And people that have used drugs, every time they party, every time they get in a scene, like a scenario that's high, like a high intensity scenario, every high speed chase, every gun that got pulled out, every time they fought with their partner, every hour they stayed up past their bedtime, like your brain's burning. Every time you drink, every time you scream, every time you hear somebody scream, any thrilling or high intensity or even depressive event, every time you take in any substance, and every time we don't get our scheduled rest, your brain gets a chunk bitten out of it. Think of a bug, like just like every time. Think about you eating an apple. And it actually takes a chunk out of your brain. You start to burn those brain cells off. And it targets things like your serotonin. And then like right down here too, there's like a little like thing like as big as your finger right here. And that's what actually copes with your emotional stability like that. That's where your coping area is for all of your emotional damage and all your trauma. And that gets all worn out real quick. Some of you guys might be feeling a lot of headache and pain and just like stress and tension in that lower area. You're being, it's trying to tell you that it can't handle too much more of whatever is hurting you. You need to sign up for counseling. You need to know that there's nothing wrong with you needing to now learn another thing to get farther along and where you're at. These are events that you've never had happen before. And also there's no way of, and you shouldn't want to handle it the same way every time anyway. If I had handled my dad's death, I knew very much how to handle my dad's death different than Martin's. I made decisions in every person's death different. One thing I can say that I have done is I've always been somewhere at work when I get these calls, and I will complete my duty. And then I just calmly go and I handle the whole thing. But then when I get home, I am secretly like going through a lot of shit, and then I act out usually by starting another major career. And I'll push everybody away. I don't turn to people too much for much. I just like try to make my own money. I'm always big on money. So you guys need to know what you do, what's your outlet, because you'll want to balance that out at least this time. We've been talking about planning things further through. I think for me, what I am definitely going to do is I'm just going to get rid of I am going to sell the house. I'm pretty tired of fucking people disrespecting me and coming and going whenever they want. I found there's just, I'm pretty good at just seeing what I'm looking at when I look at people. And some people are actually very cruel. And there's been some people in the last year in my life, which is a normal thing for them, that would go as far as make up rumors that would actually put me in jail. Um, they've done it multiple times, and they've really spread some really just terrible rumors. And I don't tolerate that kind of stuff, and I don't even want to put myself at risk. I also just feel sickened that those type of people could even surround me. And it's like, as much as we want to see somebody as a good person or love them, for whatever that is that they do this for, you will put yourself at risk for some of you guys. Some of you guys are having, some of you guys are having somebody actually blackmail you or threaten you. That's why I started this channel. I've always been somebody to tell on myself. It's pretty disheartening to know that people in front of you will turn around and I've done it too. And I don't want to say things anymore that I actually wouldn't do. And I actually practiced that last night. Because sometimes we get angry and so we turn around and we say something. We'll say, oh yeah, well then I'm going to do this. And honestly, just knowing that we thought it is a problem. It just shows that that's still a character within us that we still are. And until we're pure enough to, hi Brandy, I love you. I was wondering if you were out. I love hearing when you guys are happy. Yay, Dante! He talked to his mom. I'm happy. I like seeing you guys happy. Do what makes you happy. You'll be fine no matter what because God says to put you first anyway. He does not want anybody before him because they all be saying whatever. Most people will puppet you around. They're lying. Look at how many people believed all that shit. No. And they said I was all unstable. That's fine. Because it wasn't my duty to determine, and it was never theirs to determine what I was or wasn't. It was their job to do their fucking job. Just like I can do from my fucking straight fucking Ross desk. So as what I was going to say, if you're somebody with a college, anything with that seal that says we're mandated reporters. So every person, for one, that didn't do their, for one, thorough position. Like one thing that comes to mind right now is the person who was in charge of the computer system that was looking over the radar systems when we had the towers hit. There's a couple things we could do here, and we're gonna. I'm not gonna sit there and just let people not do their job. It is our duty to be mandated reporter, and I actually don't mind it because you know what? Everybody has no problem fucking snitching on us. They want to take me to court. Well, fine. I did my time, and here I am. Hello. And now it's all on the internet. And they're like, why would Tara do that? So that, because I like to, for one. And for two, I'm tired of people. You might be tired of people telling people what the fuck you are ever. I don't like it. I don't need you to speak on my behalf, bitch. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Why are you talking about me? I don't like it in general. I don't do it at work. I would, when the kids, they're literally kids, they're fucking stupid. Like, that's why I can't even stand them. Not at school. I love my students, some of them. The Paul Mitchell, you guys were kind of a pain in my ass. But Glenn Dow, you guys were fucking amazing. Paul Mitchell, I don't know. You guys need to start, it's like cool that you guys are a brand. We ain't going there. But fuck, dude. You know, just do whatever the fuck you say you want to do. Straight. Because all these people are going to stop you and be like, oh, good, but I call them halters. If you're getting halted out of nowhere and you weren't expecting it, that person was out of your alignment, and just remember who you are, and you need to ground yourself. And just, if you're not sure, or even if this person is difficult, you need to, because they're the ones that pull the, oh, I'm going to fucking do this and that card. Okay, fine. So if they were to do that, and you had to go to court, the only way you need to know how to start memorizing how to handle it would be, how would the judge choose you to be the winner of the case? This isn't about what you know. This isn't about what they know. anytime they want to do anything, and you should do this as a life thing now. What is the policy and procedure of that thing every time in your state? Each state has a law and they have a policy and a procedure, period. So the best route to go always now is stop fucking listening to the 3D and you follow the fucking policy, procedure, and law. Because at the end of the day, you're solid. Facts. Just be solid. Never text anyone any more shit. For no more. All that is evidence against you, man. Evidence. You will now be emotionally stable. If you want to have a good time, own it. Who gives a fuck? They're like, Tara's naked and she drinks. Yeah, who cares? Fucking I can do that. I also fucking have a house, a fucking fourth business license, and I am fucking solid. Just because you don't like who I am, that seems like you need to do some work on yourself. Because I still like you. I would still put a nonprofit organization in honor of people like you. I would be there for you. You should reevaluate who you are as such a righteous person. I'm not here to worry about who don't like me. This world needs a lot of work. And I don't worry about who don't like me. They worry about it. I don't even think about it. It hurts me that they can't come along with us and enjoy things that are beautiful because they want to be like that. But God's asking us not to worry about that anymore because they've been disrespecting us. And sorry to say it's true. They've been hurting us so damn bad, knocking our name and everything. We ain't done nothing bad. And we can prove it. Just like that every time, dude. Why would we lie? We've never been liars. I know you ain't a liar. That's why I started this group. And you know, we are straight taking over. This is not a fucking lie. I'm not stupid and I don't care because you know what? At the end of the day, there's so many trend followers and nobody cares about, I don't care about any of those girls or boys. I don't care what anybody wants to do. They can do whatever they want to do. So you do that too. And you know that God has your back. He likes that. He likes it when you do. And some of you guys have been with these people for probably a decade. Or at least been hung up on them. And you're welcome to do whatever. But you know what I just think? I just noticed that whenever I thought it the first time, man, I never actually we never ended up getting along any better by staying longer. So there are a couple pieces of advice that I can give, and that is one of them. That you don't need to do the investigation. Your brain sorts it immediately. Your senses will alert you, and it'll say, you'll smell something. Maybe you come home and you smell somebody's cologne. You're like, what's that smell? That's it. That's done because your brain sorts it to yes or no. That's it. Step one. You smell it, see it, think it, feel it. It's the senses alert you. And then your brain says yes or no. And if it goes to no, your ego comes right the fuck up and it's ready to fucking fight. I always think of ego as like a dog that gets out of the front door that's very vicious that will attack somebody. And then you're really worried and you're like, who the fuck left the door open? You know, and you get really frantic and you get really upset. And the dog's a great dog. What the fuck happened here? I'm so irritated. I'm upset. Anyways, whatever. The dog's a great dog, but basically, let's just say this dog is always getting in trouble, and like if it were to get out again, the neighbor might call the cops and shit like that. It's like a very important thing to keep the dog in the house. Like, ego is very powerful on its own. Ego's made to, brain is like Scooby-Doo or Shaggy. It has no control of what you're about to fucking experience. Brain is a sorter. And it is innocent. People have determined brain to be IQ, who you are, and it's not. And that's why I'm upset with anybody 50 and older because they actually started to build, honestly, very controlling and very unhealthy foundations. And the people that acted out against them, they really did have the right to. Like the rock and roll girls, I truly feel like you guys really changed history. And I don't think you guys have ever gotten credit for it. And after looking into this, those women who are still with kind of like really abusive men, you guys are actually really beautiful women and you suffer from a lot of trauma from honestly like your parents, like just being, and how I've just like come to explain it in a simple way is like the girl from the It movie when the bathroom's exploding with all the blood. It just, I've never really, I like to put everything, all my realizations and all my investigations to a picture in my mind. And that's really what they were saying. And you guys have been not actually able to tell your story. And I didn't personally like go through that, but I feel like it was happening around me. And I feel like I was actually, I'm sorry to say, but I feel like I either completely disassociated it, or I could have been even the sibling that was spoiled. And you guys were the ones who were mistreated. I'm not really sure. But I think a lot of us, and so I don't really know, and I'm just sorry for everything that you went through. I'm sorry if we ever acted like we were doing fine and you have memories that we don't. And that's what I think a lot of it might be. There's so much going on that's been under the rug. And the thing now that I know about therapy is that you actually have to pull it out. And you have shame, and you're like, man. And Paul DeGrioli helped me when he took me to Florida, and I just told him, like, man, I don't even know. It's hard for me to even be around him because I feel like I ask him sometimes what's happening, and I feel like they say things that makes me feel like they do know. And he's like, because like one time I said to my dad, I know. I said, I want to know what happened to us. And he said, I'm afraid if I tell you, Tara, you will never speak to me again. And that's what he said. And I texted him to my mom. And then her answer was, and what the fuck do you think you know this time? So that's where you'll get with it. And so sometimes you just have to know it's actually part of the process, which is interesting because these are the people that told you you're so messed up. They try to convince you that you're the one who's messed up. They try to convince you that you didn't suffer whatever you feel in your heart. You did, and you have the right to feel like that. You're not blaming anyone. You're actually working through what God is asking you to work through. Being the light worker is the person in the family that cannot seem to accept what's going on. And so you are the one, it's called changing the dynamic of all of your family generations. Basically, you have had other ancestors in the past who have been working on this too, but you guys come far and few as you've seen. And you're that one in the family. And so once I realized that, it was a blessing. And the difference between being the one in the family, you have to make sure that you don't take your realizations and become hateful and you remain in the downright. So anyone can have status. Anyone can be blessed with some money. But you are sinning if God's given you a lot of money and you're not doing anything to make the world a better place. He says, I will bless you, but you will use it also to pay it forward and be a blessing. I'm not going to say how much money you have to put forward. That's between you and God. But I do want to say there's a lot of people with money in the bank, and you brag about it, and it means nothing to me. I'm going to donate my money, and I actually have all of this whole thing. Once you get to know how to use this pyramid, it hit me that Mariah Carey and all them were right underneath of us. Like they're like they could be our big sisters. And J-Lo. And some the Spice Girls, all of them. And then I remember even just like the Odd family being in black and white. So basically we are actually at the bottom of this pyramid chain. We just now had TikTok and all that introduced not too long ago, and all these other channels are being introduced. And so basically what's happening is we're going to be at the root of all of this. So if you're smart and you've been, I work in the hire and fire department. And so the issue is like, where are all the applications at? We haven't had anybody applying in a while. And I listen to what the clients say, and they're doing online stuff. So if you're not somebody who is adjusting or advancing with the times, you do whatever you say you don't do. Nobody cares. I am, and I've already made a lot of money. So you have to grow, and nobody will mess with you if you don't basically have the most updated stuff. So that's up to you. If you really want to make money, then you need to go ahead and say, what are the top 10 ways to make money? And you need to go off of your passions. Otherwise, you're not having a career, you're working a job. And you have to give all of your money away, so that you're not going to like that very much. Anything you want to do, just look it up. You have to do whatever makes you happy. It's not about what people say is okay or not okay. If you like Cardi B, you can't say you don't fucking pay for fucking people's content. You have to be smarter than your words that you're saying. Anyone who knows anything about on site money, if you have an on site business, they have community guidelines. And you guys even know what that is from Facebook. And every time that I've disappeared for 30 days, I got grounded. So the community guidelines you have to follow, and actually I'm learning even more and more. Even OF doesn't support many requests, and so I am gonna have to go to more and more sites. So it's not gonna be about what anybody tells you anymore, because if you're somebody who's working with people that are honestly driven and focused on a mission, they're not ever, are you ever in a room to hear what somebody doesn't like about your plan? So that doesn't change when it's you talking to another person. Only an insecure person would care if you don't like what they do. And I am not insecure. I don't care about attention, and anybody who has a brain should know that, because if I cared about attention, why don't you ever see dudes in my house partying like I'm a hood rat? You got to put two and two together. So whenever anybody thinks that way, all I think is, ew, I don't want that kind of person on my channel, because that person judges people. They make false judgments because they follow third parties. They have, in fact, never actually, they don't know what they're talking about for sure. And so that's what we're looking at. We're looking at facts. We're not looking at your feelings about things. You're manifesting your soul tribe, and then you will always feel supported. And get whatever you have for secrets out in the open. Because fuck yeah, I'll blackmail you, everything. Get ready. But there's ways that you do that. You got to be smart. You never tell them what you're up to. Don't tell them that you're leaving. They will come for you and take you down and kill you, pretty much. So, oh gosh, it's a long death. It's a painful one. If you even have the right to go, even less, but you know, it's in those moments, and they know it, because I just fucking feel somebody right now. I just think he was smirked for them. I feel like somebody, I don't know if somebody got a black eye, but fucking whoever it is smirks at you after. And I don't know where that came from. That was sick though. You can't tell them that you're leaving. You need to just, I don't know. You're going to have to get all your P's and Q's in order. It sounds like some of you got like an actual, go lay down please. You may have an actual really abusive one. Because in my head I thought about another planner, like maybe mirroring them. I don't think that'd be good. I think your best bet is to just do whatever your routine is for this moment. I've been saying that somebody needs to get, you have a tricky one. This person watches you really closely. Who would have you on camera and track you and shit, huh? I don't know. Somebody has a strict one. But I don't know. Go into a private browser. You can go into your private browser, and you can always message me from there. I have a Facebook. You can direct message me from that anytime, and I'm happy to help. But they are smart. My brother's like that with his girls. He has a camera, his girls, like he has a literal camera on their front porch, and he watches all of them at the same time, and they all listen. So if you're dealing with somebody like that, I actually understand. But I can tell you that their mama owned him, and that there's time. I'm hearing that song. What is it? That one from, is it Dirk's? I don't even know. All Red. We'll have to do that because that's actually my sister's song. I love that. Kenzie had a dog named Jake. That's how we knew something was wrong. She never came home to feed him. My first death was when I was 14. I handled it wrong, though, is what I was going to say, though. I felt like it was obvious I needed to take care of my family. My mom was sad. Kenzie was dead. And my little siblings were there. And I usually did sports, and I usually did, I was just focused on school a lot, and we lived on a farm, and so we were very busy. And I just remember wiping the tears away after the third day. I did go see my sister. Couldn't get those images out of my head. And then my baby dad died after, and Martin died after, and then my dad died after. So every death has been different, but just know that that will happen. And you may need to do a goodbye ceremony. I don't like funerals. I did go to my sister's and I spoke, but I did not go to my baby dad's. I did my own thing for him, and I did the same thing with my dad. I don't really feel like most of us have a very strong connection with the people that are at that funeral anyway, and it makes me sick to look at their face, and I don't like it. I don't like the way the weird things happen at the church. I don't feel like it honors them in any way most of the time. I went to the lake with my dad and I just said goodbye to him on a beautiful day, and I felt like it was nice for me. So to each their own. You don't have to do anything anyway. My sister is upset because she feels like we needed to be together as a family, and it hurts her greatly. And so I just want to recognize people's feelings and make sure that we can all do that. She's very upset. She was actually, in my opinion, pretty disrespectful. She's been. But actually, it's looking at the ways that she's handled it, I can still, it's just becoming an emperor and empress. You have to be understanding. You have to know that that's where they're at in their life, and that's what they're doing. And God just says, like, you have to tell them at some point, like, step away because they're going to take you down. Some people are cruel like that, and it is actually not okay. You can sit there and say that that's how they are and that's who they are, but, like, they will take you down. There's some evil females for some of you guys, and, like, when I say that, I'm not kidding. Like, I'm talking, like, full-blown shit. So, actually, I am finalizing the deal today. After what they've done to me over the last week, it's been terrible. I am sickened by it. When I think I'm having a nice time and cooking a family dinner, they're robbing me, sneaking out the window and driving away with my children, texting them to screw me over. And actually, now that I think about it, we did do that a lot with my father. She did the same thing with my dad. She would tell us to go ruin his shit, and she thought it was so funny to fucking literally have the kids, us as kids even do it, sabotage him. So yeah, that's actually, now that I think about it, exactly what's happening here. They think it's so funny to sit there and have everyone disrespect me and do things like that. And I don't think it's funny at all. I think it's disgusting behavior. And I don't want nothing to do with it. So some of you guys might have to just deal with that stuff. You might have fucking people that you love a lot. It could be your kids, it could be your fucking family, it could be your parents, it could be your lover. But they're not respecting you. Plain and simple. That's it. That's all you need to know. It is not fucking about anything else. And it is scary. I didn't know what I was going to do when I was 8. And I also stood up against my mother too. It's like 33. And yep, the kids fucking, it went down. The whole house ended up going from a family of pretty much 6. And my mom was even there, hanging out off a lot. Even one of the last pictures that we have as friends, we were baking together in the kitchen. And I always wondered too, like, why then was she friends with me? Well, I was the manager of a school, but she never fucking once came to my school and never seen me at work. She didn't come to my college graduations either. And when I bought my house, she refused to do that too. And so I'm thinking, like, I guess we had a friendship, but why was it that time? I know that there was one thing in specific I was doing a lot of, and I always folded up $100 bills since I was making the most money I ever made. And so I always enjoyed giving her secret $100 bills. That comes to mind. And I think maybe I did take her to the Luke Bryan concert. I'm trying to think of like what it was that I did, honestly, because like me finding somebody passed away and even struggling and all the stuff that happened afterwards, like there was a lot of direct, in my opinion, I feel like when I get weak, if they didn't even initiate it, they will actually utilize that to bring me down lower. And I feel like they do that for whatever their reasons are, but I don't actually live my life ever trying to sabotage any of them, and I would do anything for them. That's how I feel, and that's all that we can do is just look at ourselves and be like, you know what, well, I feel like this, and if they want to be like, well, I feel like, and you're like, very well, because that person lacks maturity, and they lack the ability to acknowledge that you came to them calm. You have taken the time to think before you speak. which is probably something that they've accused you of not doing. They always, if you pay attention, they probably tell you did it some wrong way every time. And that is what being in your 20s will do to you. You will chameleonize for everybody and realize that at the end of the day, they were using you. They will set you up and they will cheat. I mean, and it has nothing to do with age. A lot of that is character. Um, it is truly evil trait. I can tell you that a lot of it, and it must be, it must be like blood deep or something. Somebody helped me realize that. They said, do you know why the blacks are so upset? And I said, no. And they said, they said something about like, maybe like they feel like, because like there was like actual like whipping and shit, like maybe like their actual like blood is like in the land, like almost like the natives, like they feel like it's like in the land, like, and I guess that actually does make sense. And I do want to point out actually, guys, that there is an issue with the blacks, because if you guys look up the missing persons number in the United States, they hit rank on number 1, and Indians come in number 2, and there's another race that comes in number 3, but there's no whites. And whenever I get a new thing to look into, that's something that came up. I was looking into the traffickers, and I was looking into the missing persons, and that was a new topic also that I came across this year. And I just came across that number, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's terrible. How could the blacks have not said what the fuck is going on? There's no whites, and the Indians haven't said anything, but they're number 2. It's crazy, dude. What the fuck? We have a complete big giant racist group, you guys. Who in the fuck is it? Because we're taking them out. We don't tolerate racism in our country. So you can bet your ass, if you're racist, I'm Tara Dana and I'm part of the Villain Bloods and I'm coming for you. So who the fuck are the top racist people in our country? That's not allowed here. We don't do that. That's disgusting. I'm like looking you up right now, bitch. We don't do that. And stop saying you're part of the cartel when you're a bitch. Because our cartel in our country is not murderers. They're not rapists. They'll handle your bitch ass if you rob them, and that's said to be a fucking from the fact. You owe them money for some pure goods. So quit calling your nasty dickhand fucking cartel, because in our country, we just buy pure stuff, and our cartel doesn't even use the stuff they sell. I know, I grew up around it, and I skipped past all of them, and they were very nice. My family never had an issue once with the cartel, because we don't fuck them over. You're not cartel when you kidnap people and rape them. So watch your mouth around here, stupid ass. We'll deal with you in a minute. I have to go turn this in. I have a crime to solve. Just know that you better watch your ass. You better stay the fuck far away from me. I'll leave you alone, but if I come across you and you piss me off, do you think that I care? No, all I'm going to do is take 2 seconds. I just click right on your face. I just stare at your eyes. I hypnotize it. No, I was kidding. Not yet. I just simply look for one at your weird face, and I'm like, that's a weird guy. Never seen it look like that. And then I look and see your info. It's right there. It says, oh, I'm with Delilah fucking dick fuck. And then I'm like, what an idiot. Talking shit. Every one of them. Look at it, dude. If you actually just hold up, hey, all my wiggies will be hearing this song. This, like, you gotta think like Tech 9. This is your shit. You gotta be like, yada, 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 bitch. Dude, you own this motherfucking shit, dude, every day. Because why don't you? Did you do something wrong? No, you didn't. Did they lie on you? Yes, they did. So what happens when somebody lies on you? Well, now we need to do an investigation to see if they actually have done this. Well, all that you look at whenever you turn an investigation in is no matter what, somebody's going to look into it. And they're going to be able to track anybody's phone. You can track locations. obviously you can track time of death. Um, you're gonna just then through anything AT&T and Verizon, it will be pulled up. You can subpoena anything, sweetheart. So it's only a matter of fear of involvement most of the time. So anytime you have some kind of involvement, don't. If you stand true to what you are not okay with, you're not always going to have justice. And that's something that you will learn to accept, that your duty on earth is not to see it through. You're just there, bystander, and you said at one point, oh, I'm against cheating. So then when your man cheated, did you keep him or did you kick him out? Those are moments of truth for you, because if you accept something that you were really serious, like sickened by, it changes you, because inside you know that that's not something you accept. And then it's like, it lowers a very confident woman down to like 30%. Like, really, though. I don't know why it does, but it just would. That's why I've stood true to it, thank God. And there are ways that you can get through it. There's a lot of strong people out there, no matter if you're a man or a woman, that actually will be by your side through all of these things. That's what the cool thing about Spokane is. Some of you guys actually need to get with PCAP. It's PCAP. It's Parent Child Assistance Program. They're all over Spokane. But these women actually are CPS affiliated, and they will work with you for 3 years. They will work with any of you if you're a man or a woman, and they help you with everything. Rides to the doctor, formula, guidance, everything. They're such great supporters. I had Heather Cantamessa, and she was the best thing ever. She was so sweet. They were there for 3 years, and it's all free. It was so helpful when I came up here as a young mom. So don't ever be afraid to use your resources. Call SNAP on the third Tuesday of every month. SNAP will give you anywhere from $400 to $2,000 for your power. Call Vista. Use our energy assistance program. They'll reduce your power all the way up to 50%. I got mine done 35%, and it's a 2-year program. The Salvation Army offers, just look up food banks near me, everything near me. I need SNAP housing does need water heaters. They'll give you new windows. All you have to do is use your resources. Never be afraid. There are so many wonderful people available in Spokane. It's the city of resources. It is the best place ever. I will be giving back to all of the people that helped me, because it was such a beautiful thing. SNAP will help you also with your mortgage. Like if you're needing help buying a house as a first-time homeowner, you don't need to save money for that. They have assistance programs that anybody that's a first-time homeowner, they get something called, oh fuck, dude. Just go to SNAP, and there's a class you take, and you qualify. As long as you've had the same job for a year, and your credit is at least 650 or higher, and you make at least probably $20 an hour, you'll get at least $250,000. You need friends that are inspirational, not people that are halters. You guys have some blockers in your life, and I want to tell you, they're not needing you around. God needs you to get out of the fucking way, because all that you're doing is holding yourself back, and they're going to get karma for everything that they've done no matter what. So if things have not been working out for your person, and they've been like pissed off all the time, that's because karma's coming for them. It's already there. So if you choose to stay, they're just going to say, you're getting it too, because I already told you. They're actually getting mad at you, because at first you have these realizations where you're like, I'm not happy. This person's being rude to me. And then you stay. And then you're like, God, I'm not happy. He's like, I know, man. They've been really fucked up to you, man. And then you're like, I know. And he cries. Then even one day, it gets even crazier. And so you're crying again. And then God's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you're like both freaking out. Then you call your family. And you're like, I don't even know. Like, they've been cheating. And they're like, oh my gosh. So now the family's involved. And then they want to know if you're leaving them yet. And it's like a shit show. Is it not? So then the next relationship, you didn't really you have a different face, but the same problems. And you're sitting there and you're like, fuck, I can't even fucking say nothing, because I told them last time and then they wanted me to break up. So now it's a secret. Woo. And so now you're abused in secret. And you're abusing each other, you're abusing yourself, and you're not a victim anymore. And so I heard the story, and it's that a girl keeps hearing the neighbors fighting. So she prays every day, God, please help them. And he never does. One day she's talking about it again. She said, why don't you ever help them? She's always crying. He said, basically they're each other's karma until they want to help themselves. He said, I do try. Same thing I just told you. They come to me, we talk, and then they stay. You have to be in charge, because your life will move at the pace that you push it. And so don't ever hesitate to stand up for yourself, because they won't. They are using you. They will ruin you if they see potential coming through you, and they hate being exposed. And if you haven't noticed, most of the world actually would rather stay dark because they have to put effort into becoming better. They don't want to. They don't want to do the work, you guys. Haven't you noticed that? Is it that fucking hard for them to fucking talk to you with respect? No, it's not. Is it that hard? That's what you've been saying this whole time. Is it really that hard, babe, to talk to you when you get home? Or is it really? Well, they don't want to. They like it how it is because they are either doing something with their phone in front of your fucking face while you're whining. That's a thing. Every time you're whining, do you know that they're actually probably on Snapchat texting and actually using your money to fucking pay for low vibrational bitches? Yeah, well, they'll fuck certain people, but if your person goes away on work trips, anytime they haven't answered the phone on time, oh yeah, they were definitely doing it. And also, just go into their phone, dude. You want to know I didn't even know what was going on. Edward fucked up. That's how he did. He went to dinner and it was out past midnight, and I was getting really sick feelings, and I just found out that's what's happening. Some of you guys may find out that that's what's going on. I'm telling you, if your person's just like super like short with you and doesn't speak a lot, that was Edward. He wasn't talking ever. He would lay there, he was really calm. And I was like, maybe we'll talk in the morning, maybe we'll talk at night. It just never came. I never dealt with that. Some of you guys have a quiet, but he says he's working all the time. Tired, moves fast, wants to go to bed, wake up in the morning, does his own thing, but never like your thing. I don't know. Or like maybe when you go to the lake, he was specific. So that's where I found out what a covert was, because I never dealt with that. And when we went to the lake, there were some specific behaviors that I noticed. Like he would never want to do things with us. It was like never something that he wanted to do. It was always a freaking jerk about it. He wouldn't want to go on vacations. He was like, we did that. And so it was negative, but like he did like fishing. So we got fishing license. I like fishing too. But something I noticed that was just careless of him is like the kids. Dude, he even told my son to jump off a fucking cliff into the river up there at like Mount Spokane area where he would have died. That shit's weird, dude. Like literally, he was like, do it. And I was like, I didn't even realize what was happening, but I just see my son over there on the rock and heard him say even doing it. But my mom even just was like, beyond even what he said, I was just screaming for Skylar not to jump off right there and even just program that whole thing. But I was like, what the fuck, dude? What if I wasn't there? And he fucking literally told my kid to sick shit. I did call the cops on Edward for one thing, but because I heard he was abusing Hazel. That's why I have her. That's how I got my last charge. Because that lady punched me in the ribs. You got to do what you stand up against. If I heard about animal abuse, I have to do that. And there was a couple of, yeah, so just do whatever you say you have to do. It's not easy, but you just do it. You just do it. You're not wrong. That's your duty on this earth. God's going to bless you. He'll take good care of you. Some of you guys do have young children now. Some of you guys, I've just been getting a strong feeling that you have a nice mom. Good for you. I'm happy for you. And she wouldn't mind helping you. Some of you guys have a nice parents and they have a decent sized house, and give them the fucking house, bro. Go home, release your name from the house. Right now, your credit will still be great. And you can download Experian yourself. It's free. Experian tells you where you're at with your credit, and it will help you build towards anything that you want to build towards. There are free advisors in every area of Spokane. So whether you need anything, it may take a little bit of time. Put yourself on the low income housing list. Call SNAP, call PCAP. Get those, you need those resource ladies on your team. Look at and we're serious about you. Get a resource rep. They're free. That's what the nonprofit organizations are about. They're free help. And that's why we're going to open these up in your cities. That's where I want our money to go, because this is what changes lives. Martin changes lives. Martin believed in me. Martin didn't care that I had CPS in the past. He didn't care that. He was so kind to me the whole time I was going through court. And I'll never forget that. And that's why I honor this man, and I don't care. Like, no matter if anybody was using or anything, that doesn't mean that they have less rights to be looked into. And I have this paper, and nobody would look at it. That is completely inappropriate and unacceptable. So what we do as professionals is now we will come back again with more knowledge and more force. And no matter who doesn't want that out there, I'm going to take it first to Umpqua, and then I will stop at the first bank I see past that. I'm going to let them know I've given this to these people already once before, and now I would like a second bank to investigate Umpqua to make sure they're doing a good job. Plain and simple. We'll have to get it to the Better Business Bureau is what we need to do. So I would need to email the BB. So there's a procedure. It's not going to matter what they tell you. It matters if it's correct or not, and you have to be stable. So we need the BB. That's what we need to do, not even Umpqua. We need this whole thing investigated. Umpqua didn't do their job correctly. So now actually we're going to bypass Umpqua. We just need to email this. That's it. And so if I would have known those things prior, we wouldn't have wasted our time. There's been a possible frauded property sale now because it should have never been in their care. They possibly should be inmates. So there's a lot to easy things to do. You don't need to tell anybody what you're doing. You need to do it. And they think they're getting away with it because I'm not really sure why. They must not know that you're actually smart. Because you're not. You must, I don't know what they think at that point. All right, so let me see. It goes all the way to the FBI or the government. It doesn't even go to the BB. Yeah, it says to the police, but I already did that. And so, yeah, we'll have to, that's going to go in the report, is that Liberty Lake Police Department was contacted and everything's recorded. So all you do is what you should do, policy and procedure. If they want to say you're not credible, that's not their policy or procedure. I don't get to just decide based off of how you look in my office if I follow the procedure. That's where you come back and you say, that's why they say go up the chain of command in all things. If you don't like your leader, you still need to be professional, and you need to in text say, hey, I was wondering if I could talk to you about my schedule. When I started, we had discussed that I would have Friday and Saturday off, and I see that I'm scheduled on that day again. Can we please change that back to what I originally asked you for? Things like that. You want to be very simple, no feelings. There's no, I feel like this has been happening a lot. It's not, it is happening a lot. So erase those I feels. You'll get really good at keeping it like really short. You want to keep it to like, and also pay attention to how much whoever's writing you need to see in length how much they write. People that write a lot and very extended, they're either hot, they're pretty much on something, or they're just not mentally stable. There's something wrong with their brain. There's nobody that writes in length that is pretty much sober. I've realized you're pretty much cuckoo brain. They're full of shit, and they're not just full of shit, but usually they have a substance abuse problem. So don't take that long, lengthy shit as a cute little fucking we were talking thing. You need to know they're lying. Another little thing, since we're looking at the word police here. When the police come over to your house, if they knock on your door and talk to you, I always answer sometimes. We know you're in there, dude. They're like, do you though? They know my whole house now in every room because they're like, which one you gonna move? But I like them. I actually like the police. I don't have a problem with them. I always think them, and they've been working well with me. I've been a troublemaker off and on. but they really helped me with my dad's death, except for the Afreda department. But I have no problem being accountable for things, and that's what you got to do. An emperor and an empress they'll go through these things and they'll be humbled, and they will actually. You have to respect yourself, and you have to step away, and then return when you can. That's what being a good leader is. And sometimes when you're hurting, you can't process things with a clear mind, and you have to have a clear mind. And some of you guys maybe, and you do need a break too. And it's crazy because you'll look around and your own man or woman and your family, it's like there's nobody there, huh? I know. I already know. It's crazy. And so that's why we've congregated together. It'll be fine. You have to be there for yourself. Sometimes I'm gonna shoot that guy with this slingshot. Bitch. Alright. We were doing it. It was good. Jumped my fence and shit. We thought we saw a UFO one night together. We thought we were soulmates. Then he was like doing another girl, and I was like looking because I'm right here. And you know when you see a girl's hand in the car, it's like she has that more feminine wrist, and she's got a bracelet and everything. I was like, what the fuck is wrong? And then I tell him sometimes, I'm like, yeah, dude. Actually, I'm happy for them. They're soulmates. They're really cute, and I'm happy for them. It's just like crazy when you actually, because you have to be a big person to actually like see that shit, and you're like, what the fuck? And yeah, it's funny. He's lucky I'm nice. He's lucky I'm cool. Because most girls be like, what, you fucking bitch? But no, they're really happy together, and I'm really happy for him. He's been wanting true love. I always respect that. If you're somebody who is with somebody who doesn't have any kids and you have a bunch of kids, don't fucking cry like a baby when their mom and everybody says, don't get with that person. Why would the mom want their child to get with somebody who fucking has a bunch of kids? Would you? You want to be all happy. It's not saying that you're a bad person. It's saying that you chose that route. You have to be respectful. You have to know that her mom loves his mom. He loves her too, and he loves you too. He's doing something for both of you. Some of you guys might be dealing with like a third party energy, a mother, but I'm gonna tell you that's different than just having a mom that doesn't like you. She actually just like, it's hard for her to wrap her mind around changing her vision. She had a vision. She's probably a vision mom. She's probably a mom that loves her son very much, and she takes great care of her family, and so that might be a conversation that you might have with her. Or if you're a guy and has kids already and you're trying to get with a father's daughter or whoever it is, there's a barrier parent. I would just honestly, like I was going to say, you need to mirror them in a way, but not in fake. You are learning a new way to live, and you need to absorb their way of life and look at it and say, is this nature something I'm going to have to stand up against and fight for? Or is this something that we can actually come together and have problem resolution? And if you do not feel like you can have a mature conversation and you've tried and you're not getting results, you're not on the right path. You can have things that you think you want, but that does not mean that that's what God wanted or has expected for you. And you are not down here just to enjoy yourself. You're down here to do something for God in particular. I always like to think of people like as clocks and all the little pieces inside of like a computer. Everybody's a little different part. And we're not supposed to be the same, but I'm fine with 70% of the world being the same. So, and the reason why is because I imagine those ones will be the easiest ones to help us conserve our only 16% left natural water resources. And if you think about, let's just think about The Walking Dead happening. It's easy to see who's gonna Probably eating first. So that makes me happy. We've been wanting to see something happen, you know? Guys, you don't have to fight it anymore, realistically, because think about it. Let's go through all the scenarios. If The Walking Dead happens, which is already happening, how many people can talk down there? They're already doing this, and they're like, "Ah." They are. How many people have lost their ability to talk already on streets? There's already the whole downtowns in many places. Every downtown where the businesses, they're going bye-bye. It's looking like a dead city. There's garbage now coming up on the side of the buildings. It's for legit looking like, it's no joke, looking like one of the abandoned cities in these movies. I don't care if you want to look at it or not. You can say, oh, these people are freaking disgusting. Okay, cool. Well, they're gonna eat your face off. Either way, you look good. You look tasty to them. They're hungry. They are hungry. People are hungry right now. They're hungry. We are hungry. Everybody's hungry for money. Everybody's hungry for respect. Everybody's hungry and they're fearful because we have actually surrounding nations that are not like our president, and they are using our president to complete plan. That's obvious. And the only people that seem to be even noticing this are not Trump supporters. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'll still support it if I have to. I don't give a fuck. He's not the smartest. He's not the one we need. But he's fucking, I don't even know the other ones. I think it's ridiculous when we have the same people running for election 2 years ever in a row. What is this, the fucking Bachelor? Like, I don't even know. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. And so if you are somebody who, like, can see this, just like the Idaho people, you got your shotgun out. You're just like, I can't. You're just like, you know. The ones that are collecting, you guys are, get the fuck out of my face when I'm talking. You guys are legit, you already know. Anybody who's been collecting air compressors and generators and medical supplies, like, it's actually like, you're smart. And I've been watching everything for a while and just seeing how everybody's been observing, and it wasn't COVID that was making me worried. It's the idea of Biden and Obama and where they came from and what they do over there. Their foundation culture is trafficking. They abuse and make videos and sell them for money. And they're the most, once I looked into each country and what threat they brought to ours, I feel like his is the most sophisticatedly organized abusive group, in my opinion. Reason being that all of them, if you look up, they will have moments where they attack people. And you'll see piles of all aged bodies, and they'll talk about attacks. But if you look at his are actually targeted by skill set. There's athletes here. There's children here. There's the men who work with their hands here. There's virgins here. Everyone is actually targeted by a specific reason of skill, and they will take what matters most to you. That's what they target. If you're a mother, they're taking your kid. And they make the person who they took it from be the audience. So it'll be all moms watching. They will tie the people up, and actually everybody's tied. And it's pretty much a ceremony, and there's all designated people that honor this ceremony. There are people that record it. The videos are sold for $1,000, and there are buyers, and there are the performers or abusers. There's the victim, and there's the audience. Everything is very specific. If you would be a runner and an athlete in that form, they will target your legs. They have options. They will get beaten down, and they have the option to yell mercy, or they can yell Iraq. It is a shame in their country to yell mercy, and so they don't. And most of them will die. There's another ceremony that goes on where ravished dogs come and shred them to pieces right in front of their their mothers. So I didn't know that. That information, somebody brought some information to me like 2 months ago. That's how this whole thing got started for me. They told me that they felt like Biden went to shake somebody's hand that wasn't there. And since I study mental health and look into it, that was what I thought was very odd. What do you mean you went to shake somebody's hand that it wasn't there? And they were laughing about it, but that was very serious. Like, that has nothing to do with Alzheimer's. That would be disassociation and returning from it. And so I looked into that, and I'm looking at him, and sure shit, dude, he does. He's spacing the fuck off on stage. Disassociation in mental health it occurs when you feel so uncomfortable wherever you are that you imagine yourself in your favorite place, and you go there and then return when the event that you're going through is over. That's what abusive victims have went through. So why the fuck is the so-called fucking human trafficker going and disassociating on stage? I'm not here to say you did either thing, but bro, you're doing things now that are actually in the same category of a problem here. Like, I am a victim of disassociation, and I know that because I have flashbacks I can feel like different things will make me like different feelings, but I have actually blacked it out, because when you dissociate, it's an out-of-body experience. So then I'm watching his face, and when he returns, there's a sway to it. You can tell almost his vision is coming back too. And since it's an out-of-body experience, that's where you'll see him almost look kind of dizzy and loopy and then come back. And when they get a smile, when they fully return, that would be odd too. You would not, if you were on stage doing a presentation anywhere and you were nervous, anyone in the audience, even yourself, your instructor, would be very worried if while they were watching you, and he's the fucking president here, on stage, and you're literally looped out, where are you going? You're gonna tell me nobody fucking notices that who does mental health? Like, what the fuck? That is not Alzheimer's. And literally, dude, if it were Alzheimer's, he wouldn't even qualify for presidency. Alzheimer's is determined in a CAT scan, and so is psychopathy. And so there's no reason why any of those documents haven't been uploaded. And why would he disassociate? And with the medical term being that it's because you're so uncomfortable wherever you are, you have to go elsewhere and then return when it's over. That's what we have on stage as a president. And also, just like, there's so fucking much. So what we're gonna do, because we think we obviously have to turn to these people, and we don't. We need to turn to each other and know that nobody needs to be afraid of being honest here. There's been some Cash App agencies that flagged their system automatic. That was another thing I looked into. That whatever paying over this phone, whatever source of app, you guys have to look it up. But that was one of it automatically flagged Biden transaction to a fucking person. Like, it was a whole trafficking like transaction. And the system automatically will flag and freeze anyone's accounts. And so it did that normally. And the employee that worked there did his job correctly. That's why the whole thing even surfaced. And it's all right there, and then it just kind of fades away. No, that's not what we do. So I just want anybody that knows, like, if they have one of these licenses from school, you can pick this up whenever. It's not about who's going to run our country. In any type of situation, if there was a possibility that somebody could possibly have been a trafficker ever, we would halt their chances of even moving forward. You don't just say, well, it's just the law, he's in office. Really? That's crazy, because I'm pretty sure that if we spoke the truth and said you're being misled, like, if people actually knew that the person who they were following and trusted in could have been responsible for their niece or whatever coming up missing, and those things will obviously be found out. The phone companies, the Cash App companies, we can see everything through. There's nothing. The only thing that you should be worried about is hiding anything, because if you hide it, that only means that whoever you threaten at that moment is scared of you. What it means after that is if an investigator then picks it up who's not afraid of you, you're now an accomplice. So keep that in mind. You will go down for every crime. You will lose your degree. You will never again work where you worked because you did not do what you were supposed to do and be a mandated reporter. You swore that when you got your degree, you would keep your clients safe. And so every time that you've ever hid anything, you're an accomplice. You didn't get away. You were around cowards. God was building people to come back for you. No one gets away. And you don't have to do anything according to the 3D. Because a lot of people might say, Tara's a piece of shit. I like who I am. And I'm proud of who I am. And I don't do anything out of my own alignment because I understand that I have to understand I have to be me. Because at the end of the day, every time I've ever changed for another person, I didn't get anything they said I was going to get. And now I've just realized that's a whole fucking personality group. No one, have you ever had would you ever make somebody do something to do something for them? No, you don't. It says literally in the Bible, gift with one hand and slap an ass with another. Doesn't it say that? It says you're not supposed to even tell people you gifted them, and you know why? Because God wants to see if you're really a good person. He wants to know if you gift people for credit. A lot of people think they think they know about God. And they think that if you break a rule that somebody made for their own self, that was their belief. God didn't, if you're questioning what they say, that's coming from God and your intuition. God doesn't want you all to be the same. And God didn't make a mistake on you. So if somebody ever tells you that you're doing something wrong and you're not doing something right, you gotta ask yourself, when you're around them, do you feel inspired or do you feel just uncomfortable? Do you feel scared that that this person might be upset? If you ever do anything, do you feel like you have to think of ways to ask them if you can do it? Do you feel like they don't understand you? I mean, it doesn't take, if they're so fucking wise, then why can't they fucking see that you're uncomfortable? Why don't they see all the things that a wise person would fucking see? Why don't they back the fuck off? Why aren't they when you look up their personality and you look up yours, you might find that you've done things wrong and they've done things right. And I mean, it's going to be mutual. It's going to go back and forth. But at the end of the day, you're just going to see it. You know what? That's where we are at right now in our life. And I understand that. And I have to take this leap of faith because I'm trying to talk to you and you're not talking to me, and I don't mind whatever you want to do. That's fine. But can we talk about what we're going to do here and move forward? And they're going to be immature. They're going to be mature about it. But one thing you do need to know is if you guys are married, you have to have whatever evidence you need before you make that approach. This is the same thing in a workplace. If you go moving too fast and saying anything, these people are the devil. They will fuck you over. You will not get pay trucks. You will not get documents that you need, and you will lose everything. They will take you down. So the best thing you can do, if there's any way, is I would go get a Visa prepaid card, and you need to pay with cash because this person tracks your money, they track your phone, they track everything. I can tell you one thing, that whoever is the head holder of your accounts, your Verizon accounts, they can always see all of your messages. They're watching all of that. So you may be a good girl, but if you don't know that, yeah, your parent, anybody who is the top dog in all of your phone plans with Verizon and everything, they can see everything, all your Facebook, everything. They go right in there. They can see everything, all your photos. My dad was on my shit. It was kind of creepy. And I was like, what the fuck? It's so weird. But yeah, They can even delete out of your like archive and stuff. So just know that you may need to, yeah, you need to go get a storage unit for some of you. And I've been seeing this for a minute. You guys might need a couple months. Don't say anything to nobody. People on your family you can't trust. I feel like they tell this person what you say to them too. You have a female in your family that actually may even like your partner, and that you talk to a lot. It could be sister or a cousin, and I don't know why I'm picking up, but they have almost like this ashy, dirty blonde hair, lightest brown, dirtiest blonde, and they may just wear it back in like a low ponytail. But like this person, like I don't know, they seem like they act more sophisticated, and they act like they maybe don't do things wrong, but they're actually one of those undercover sluts who want to literally be bad, but are too scared to also break the chains. And so they take it out on people around them by talking poorly and actually just causing a ruckus within relationships. They may not seem like they're that person in the family, but they totally are. Don't trust anybody. I wouldn't tell anybody anything. I would just say, actually brain fuck them and say everything's going great. Everything is fucking great. You are now going to know this person is never talking to you. You're going through a phase where you may be realizing nobody's talking to you for no reason. It's a sucker. You're like, you motherfucker. So now, since justice will not come, this is where your devil energy jumps into your body. The devil is good because you need to turn into him right now. These motherfuckers have been fucking you over. You got two choices. You can be godly and you can walk away and be the better person, or you can start motherfucking handling it. Oh, that's a nice $50 eye cream. It's yours. You will be strategic now in everything that you do. You will also be patient. There's some debt that needs to be paid here, and you're going to go around and you're going to get this bitch back. You're going to stir up some ruckus. Maybe you'll drop a condom in her room on your way out. Her boyfriend can find. You don't know. You know, it can be anything. You go into Macaulay Culkin now. You're going to now place, this is what I do. Oh, it's hilarious. I just enjoy it so much. Sometimes I switch out the shampoo bottles with other stuff. I like a lot of liquid form things. I put liquid in a lot of things. There's another great trick. Magnets. Need a big one. I need a device. Because the cute little parts just got wiggled around in there. Put some around the outside of some toilet paper so it don't scratch. And they're gonna be like this. I'm like, I don't even know. It was just working. I don't know. Another thing. Oh, you catch them cheating. Wow, that's so cute. Aww, they look so in love. So what you're going to do is you're going to text the person they're so in love with, and you're going to be like, I'm sorry to tell you, but I have gonorrhea. And then you're going to block them from sending you messages. Or you can do another thing where you switch their number with like a family member's of their own, because you know that the next time they send them anything inappropriate, it's going to somebody else. But the main thing I like to do is say that I have some kind of icky thing that they do. It's a very juicy, disgusting one. One that I'll say like the symptoms of like, I don't even know. I noticed like when I was in the bath because the water were like turned green a little bit, and that's when I just knew for sure something was going on. So you might want to go to the doctor and look. They never call you back again. He gets so mad. Edward says I ruined his life. He says he can't even go home now. Well, I shouldn't have had to text 45 fucking women from your hometown that you were texting. Unbelievable. They're funny to mess with if you have to have a funny mind, because it can be frustrating. But if you're somebody who's actually hurt and you're trying to fight for a person who cheats, you're very low in vibration. You need to then work on why you even accept that. It's already like most of the time you got to deal with a couple things, and so you have to you're going to visually see it, And make sure that you're not sitting there so adamant about seeking out information that when you see it, are you going to be able to emotionally handle it? Or are you going to see, you want God to give, you feel like you deserve better, but God is already giving you awakenings, which look at that. God is like, I'm trying to awaken you. You're in the rock bottom right now. And he's here for you. But you got to straight get out. Look at that. That's so pretty, huh? That's what God's saying. You're in rock bottom for some of you, and you do know what to do. You have to swipe left. No more accepting people into your life that, see, Villain Bloods, New World Order, bitch. But you cannot accept people into your life no matter what they do. And they are going to do weird things, but those are your tests this chapter. You're going to come across people that have treated you poorly, and they want to give you ultimatums, and is that what you want? Is that what you deserve? Do you think God would have sent that person there to you to threaten you if you don't follow their rule or do what they say, that you will be given an ultimatum? Really? That's what you think I deserve. That's what you think, because you're supposed to be a person of God, right? You guys go to church. I know that you guys do in this group. A lot of you guys are big God lovers, so then fine. You now think about God. Does God say, what does it say? Put me first. Him first. So do you believe that if there's, because God says, let me be a channel and let me work through you. He doesn't say, be me. There's actually, it's sinning to tell people to act as a false idol. That's what they're doing. The more I start studying it, they're acting it as a false idol. And that's against the rules of their Bible. Okay, so then you have to say, even if you were right, because I'm always over mine too, I say, if God was speaking through you, do they sound or look angelic? Are they being respectful, or are they disrespecting you? That's simple. They don't look like their face is nice. Your tone's not very nice. You're not looking very heavenly right now, so strike that. And then on the other one, if you even wanted to consider God in the room, which he is all of the time, and he's watching you too, that's your test. There's always a test. The test is like, are you going to straight tell this person never to disrespect you again and leave them and fucking let them learn a lesson? Or are you being taught a lesson of self-respect and realizing that you are cycling around in circles with your own karma? Things don't work out for us because karma says, wait for me to deal with it. Karma is different than God. It's universal. From what I know, karma is shy. Karma is I can't say shut up every time, but karma almost seems spooky. Karma seems witchcrafty. Karma comes from a place of the forest almost, it seems like. It's shamany. It's the darker parts of the forest, it seems like. It seems like the darker mermaids are there too. I get these feelings, and so I look into it a little bit more. Some of you guys went into mediumship. You're starting to hear things and see things, and it's kind of tripping you out. And I don't know much about this stuff either. It's all, again, you'll just transition naturally because your body and mind has to clear out all of the 3D. The 3D has to go. And so for those of you who lost everything recently, actually, you are really set up for success in this journey. I'm really excited for this new chapter. Some of you guys have to make some decisions and really just truly think, like, what are you going to do? For those of you who have kids that are younger, and you are thinking about making that split, if you cannot make the mortgage payment and you don't feel like you have daycare for the children, your advice is to move back home with your mom. And that would be, I'm seeing somebody who has a large enough house to do that. And it's a well-kept house. I am not seeing somebody moving back home to a clusterfuck house. If you're somebody who has a chaotic family, your advice is to reach out to SNAP Housing and to PCAP, Parent-Child Assistance Program. But first, I want you to only reach out to Parent-Child Assistance Program, and I want you to get a good feel of whoever you're talking to. You need to understand that anyone that you call always who has a license degree is a mandated reporter. And so if you, everything when you call, every one of us has a form that we follow. Because if we were to say things wrong, and especially give anybody like the wrong advice or redirect you guys wrong, like that's why they say go up the chain of command. Every department does something different. And so there is a higher up that can look into it, but that's still not even your boss. That's going to be there's just a lot. There's a whole chain, and we'll have to do that whole in a different way. But the only way to have your own back is to just follow procedure. There's nothing you can really do. But you need to know that we're not here to talk about the abuse in this particular moment. If you go in trying to get attention for being abused, CPS will become involved. You're not here to hate your partner. You are here to, for some of you, get housing and separate from a toxic relationship. And you are going to miss your partner shortly after you get settled. What you can say is, there's going to be a few things that will happen right off top when you separate from this person. If you can't pay the bills, then go and get PCAP, and we're gonna have to figure out we're gonna have to figure out. You can maybe just say that you caught them being unfaithful. That's one way that anybody would be understanding, and that doesn't have to be the truth yet. It could be because they're abusive, but this time you can say that I caught them being unfaithful, because by law, the cops don't need to get involved if they cheat. He fell in love with somebody else. He wants to be with her. I'm devastated. Just want to make sure that we have a home, something like that. You want to keep it within the law. If it is dangerous, or if it has anything to do with addiction, if there's a drug or an abuse involved, by law you go farther up. You will go CPS. Abuse or drugs or alcohol. Period. Boom. Homelessness. There's shelters and stuff, so they can see when you are a good mom. How would you get CPS involved if you were like homeless or you have less than? If you're in a house that has any type of parasite and you're staying there, even if it's your friend's house and your kids have bites and bruises and stuff, that will get you reported. Your kids do have to be well groomed. Teachers look at bruises, bites, and the grooming, like hair. Not being brushed and very matted is a big concern. And there's also a lot of somebody who has abusive parents. Typically, if you guys want some little tips or tricks, because I work at the hair salon, we can see injuries to the head. We'll see where it's red and where the hair has been pulled. You can see where they have like fungal infections or scalp disorders from where they don't get to brush their hair very often. The parent will usually bring them in, and they will try to talk poorly about the child. The child feels very uncomfortable. They're being insulted right in the chair in front of them. It's very disgusting. The child will have different types of red marks, and just again, like they'll have patchy skin. It'll be dry here, moist here, red here. It has the discolorations. There's ways that you can always be, if you're somebody who's in charge of children at a school, pretend like you're doing lice checks. You can see a lot of abuse on the scalp, and the child will be uncomfortable because it's used to this things happening. You guys need to be careful and be really observant around what's going on. Everyone is going through it. We all are. And that is why we're speaking up today. It's not to get anybody in trouble. It's simply to let everybody know it's going to stop. We're not ignorant to the abuse that's been going on around the world. And some people act like they can do it as long as people really at this point are just letting them get away with it, because people are speaking up. It's been being reported. People are saying it's happening. Even the Cash App and shit are flagging it. And people are just, they keep saying like silly things back that doesn't make sense. And I'm not really worried about it. We can do other things. So what's going to happen is that obviously our group is looking into anybody and everybody, and it wouldn't matter, obviously, at this point, if you even said Terry's a hooker, because straight fucking Biden's a trafficker. So my shit's all legal too. I have a business license to shake my ass, and I pay taxes. So I guess I'm following the law. So yeah, I'm not worried about it. Make sure all your P's and Q's are in order. If you stand with it, then that's what it is. They're like, well, you're a drug addict. You're like, you damn straight, and I'm about to go get another J, because I need one. I have nothing to hide, and people cannot like you for who you are all they want. That doesn't matter. God made you specific because you might have to shake your butt and do a club and fucking go into that fucking back room, and who knows what the fuck's gonna happen. You don't know where God's putting you and why. I didn't know when I was in law school that I was about to be in an astro van in a convict here second, fucking handcuffed on my way up to fucking Spokane. Not gonna be a lawyer and then I'd be a teacher. And now I'm actually coming back to like be both. And that's what being a light worker and an emperor and an empress is. You have to become one of these queens in the deck or kings. So somebody who is very, very, very good at love, that's the Queen of Cups or King of Cups. These are the wands here, but with the cups, any cups you see is love. It's somebody who loves family. They love being a mom. They love being a dad. They love family life. Plain and simple. Family life. A simple home, family. Love, love, love. When you see it in the upright, that's somebody who's happy with you. Empress means mother. It's either a good mom or a bad mom. The story of the Empress is that apparently as she aged, she became insecure with her looks and she started to become jealous of younger girls. And that's actually supposedly why Rapunzel's in the tower. So when she's in the downright, she's feeling insecure with herself. This is a mother who has aged and she's beginning to just feel like she's looking old. And so she's not realizing that she's picking up hate towards people that are youthful, and that's immature behavior. And they do get karma for that. Queen of Wands, somebody who's really good at, they're very, very sexy and they're very good at getting what they want. This is a manifestation. Like this person can manifest anything that they want and they're just plain beautiful and they're very lucky in that area. Down would be somebody who manifests what they want, but they're manipulative. Like they could be lying to multiple partners to get what they want, and instead of being honest, which you can do. You can have multiple partners and be honest, and you can also just be honest with your main partner. But yeah, Queen of Wands in the reverse would be somebody who's having multiple sexual relationships and losing their beauty through actually their internal going darker. See, extremes in the reverse. Some of you guys have been having too much physical and you're becoming addicted to it. And it's that's what I was going to say about this, the serial people, because every time you do anything, your body becomes, well, it's like with anything, you want more. Addiction is in all forms. Whether you gamble, you eat something delicious, you want it again. Whenever you enjoy it, you want it again. And you would, well, you just want to stay longer, and it's just like that's your thing. That's what they call a DOC. Some of you have a drug of choice, and it could be physical relationships. It can be a toxic that you put into your body. It could be making money and working too hard. It could be buying cars and stuff for your cars and amps and new rims. And it could be buying properties. Whatever it is, you have a thing. That thing you have to put in the down. What you need balance. You have to have balance. Everything has to be balanced. You're allowed to have a thing. But you're not paying attention now for some of you to the other things in your life. This thing is starting to consume you. And you're noticing that when you're in other areas of your life at work, when you're with friends, when you're with your partner, you're finding yourself daydreaming and drifting away, thinking about this thing that's not this thing's time. And so this thing will never, I don't require people to get clean and go away. I don't put my group through that. If you feel like you need a structured program like NA or AA and that's what works for you, I get that. That to me seems like that's more my sister's group of people, because I feel like that's what you feel like you need to stay clean and sober. And if you need that, then that's fine. But I would ask you, what are you so afraid of becoming? Was it really that you were a bad person? Because some of you I know that get into ragers, like the drinkers, like no shit, dude. Like you guys black out and you guys can beat the shit out of people. So yes, I do think the men who get in fights when they drink, you just don't have a choice. And that sucks. It does. I do feel bad for all of you guys out there who, in the liver, some of you guys are having an internal bleeding, and stuff like that. So your health went really down. And that's what sucks too, is like about those people that partied young, especially with alcohol, you guys get sucked in that way. Like the people on the white stuff, they lose their teeth and they deteriorate, like their bodies start looking older and uglier and stuff. But your guys' organs start bleeding out in your mid to late 20s. That's crazy. You guys need to know that in case you're a young drinker. If you drink a lot, all the boys right now around 25 started bleeding out. They're bleeding. A lot of them now already have ultimatums that they can't do it anymore. They're on strict diets. And you guys are gonna pass away. It's like 30 to 50. You know that. I've never seen one live. So if you've been having any type of ancestral like uncomfortableness, you need to go to a doctor. Somebody has been coming up with feeling uncomfortable in your stomach. You have a problem in your organ. I want you to know that if you ever hear information and it rings a bell, you're being alerted. And it's the same as like small problems turn into major ones. And you'll find that whenever you got these signs or informations later on, that like if you calculate back and do the timeline, ironically, it would have been like a $5 fix, and now it's like a $10,000 fix, things like that. Or it would have been like, well, we could have done it had you done it right on this date. It's just that we don't actually take care. They'll tell you some kind of rule, and it's not about what they don't want to do for you. We talk about policy and procedure. They have to follow that. If they don't follow that, you can more than welcome ask the supervisor. But they're gonna say the same thing, because in order for you to get them to change that, they would not. That's the whole petition, bro. You don't. People have to petition for laws to change. You don't get to just be you're not just gonna get it because you want it. You have to be responsible whenever you work with another person to know what that would look like if it came down to a dispute. You not knowing does not matter to an educated person. They don't care. They barely can stand you being in the office, because there's plenty of people that do know. That's how you have to look at a smart person. They think that this is like how anybody that's smart has a lot to do. And the more mature that you get, you will not tolerate anyone coming in with. That's why the court system never goes to say, nope, wrong document, do it again. They're not here to fucking talk about it. It straight up gives you directions on how to do things properly for every person in the world. So if you don't know that, they don't care. What they're going to do for you is look at you as you are not able to do things by yourself, and that you need to be taught. So you can either teach yourself, or you can make yourself look like a victim narcissist and fucking do nothing. And many people will try to help many people, and they don't take the advice. Or you'll be like, oh, I wish I fucking had a gym membership. And then you'll be like, I actually have one. You can come with me. I'll add you to mine. I'll pay for it. Oh, I wish I could, but I can't today. You know, and you'll just see this happening all the time. You'll have the same people come back and ask you for the same fucking favors over and over. You're going to have no answers to questions. They don't make sense. What doesn't make sense doesn't make sense. God has asked you to deal with certain things. They thought that by putting me in this situation, because they knew that Martin was leaving that shit to me. And it's because I care about my people. I care about the students. And I'm not here to get to school at all. I'm here to serve justice for my boss. But my boss, they thought that because he was going to do that would do what it did to me. It broke me for sure. But I have never, ever tolerated anyone disrespecting my boss. And I would never let anybody hurt you or anybody else. There's two types of people in this world, and there's people that freaking treat you like shit, like it's a sorority. And they actually believe that once you earn their respect, that then you're good enough. Why would you be doing that? That is disgusting. You are beautifully made. And unless God was in the room with you guys and you really believe that he was a CEO and this was your boss, picture you coming in on a job site and this is who your leader is. Apparently, they're the one who are telling you what to do, right? But God's your ultimate boss. So this person has everybody has the right to their opinion, but if God's your boss, do you think God would let them talk to you like that? Do you really think God made an error on you? Do you think he gave you an idea that was not fucking accurate? Why are you so confused right now? Because you're supposed to be, because that's not in your alignment. I got to get this shit down to the bank since I want to announce it, but I'm not afraid of nobody, bitch. And my family don't like me anyway. So what do I got to lose? It doesn't matter. The best way to fucking die, literally, if you're gonna have to, is a legend. And honestly, um, people need to know too that you're fine with them not liking you, because you know what you've done for them. And in moments like this, when you are the breadwinner and you see people coming and going, and clearly there's been like incidents occur, and you realize who was involved in that and how you were like in the living room, and that they were right here in the rooms next to you, and what was actually being done and talked about. And, you know, if you're somebody who has items that come up missing, or anytime you hear about them gossiping about you, I mean, there's just some weird shit that goes on in life, and this happens at workplaces everywhere you go. We all walk past those people that have to fucking grow up and be like that, and some of us don't want anything to do with that, and we don't really have a lot of places to go. And it's like, when you understand manifestation and you know that the 3 to 5 people that you surround yourself with by is who we fucking become like, you have 2 choices. You either convert over and have animosity, or you turn into that, or you just take a leap of faith and say, I was actually the one placed here to teach you a lesson to not disrespect me or anybody else. And until somebody does that to this person, they will have a collection of people, and why stop? This person's addiction is what they do to you. They're not happy. Clearly you can see that. You might be dealing with somebody who does have other people, but I think you might know, because, and if you do know and you're accepting it, your person could have an even deeper, because I'm picking up my brother's energy, and I love my brother. He's a Pisces, and me, we went rounds myself. But that doesn't mean I stop loving anybody. But Colton is my best friend out of my siblings for sure. We have a lot of fun together, but we can go dark side. And I got Pisces in me too. So Pisces is actually, Pisces and Cancer are the most psychopathic sign in the deck. Pisces can think of the whole thing through and gets away with it, and Cancer gets caught because we have a big mouth. But no matter what, something that you just need to know about Pisces energy, if you are somebody who has that in your charts or dealing with it, is that Pisces go to the darkest, most murkiest parts of the water. It doesn't say the most dangerous. It says the darkest and murkiest. So you got to talk. You're talking that shadowy part of the deep lake, you know, where the ocean with their teeth, you know, like you're talking like shit that looks creepy. You're like, I ain't fucking going over there in that cave. You're like, yeah, let's swim through the cave in the freaking dark lake. No, that's like jumping into the water knowing there's alligators in there. Okay, so if you want to connect with your person, for one, I've never seen it done. Pisces is particular. Pisces is, they have a part to them that is very mysterious. Your Pisces may appear to have a very strong bond with their mother in particular, but they were pretty much kind of owned by that person, or they didn't have a very good relationship. They either, no matter what, Pisces has very strong, confused feelings, typically for their mother. I've seen that, I don't know exactly what all Pisces have with their father, but what I've seen for sure is that when Pisces step away from a third party telling them what they think about another person, and Pisces has an individual moment with people, they are wonderful with all people in the group. I think a weakness for Pisces is listening to third party energy on earth. So your message, Pisces, is to connect with God. You need to be paying attention to the sun ray coming through there and come out occasionally from where you are at. You need to know, Pisces, that you've been through a lot, and people have hurt you, and they've put you in situations that I feel like at a time when you were originally placed in them, you didn't know any better. And I think it was confusing to you and shameful because you're a water sign. And that's the sign that connects with emotion, and you're the only sign who connects with emotion. So especially if you were a male, you were somebody who was feeling natural to your sign, which is secluded. You are somebody who keeps to yourself. You also carry natural psychopathic tendencies where you have urges to do things that are more extreme, not something you can talk about at the kitchen table. And it's natural for you to want to keep dark secrets and be in a dark, natural place to yourself. So some of you guys have been feeling like, according to the 3D, are you a bad person? You're really not, because you have to connect with who you are inside. And like Pisces, I think that from my experience, what I've seen is Pisces needs to get over their anger towards somebody in particular, and it seems to be a female. Not for everybody, but I've noticed it's a mother thing, because I've known other Pisces to actually love their grandmother and even move in with their grandmother and hate their mother and claim that she was a piece of poop. So healing for that for sure. And I also have another best friend, Cynthia. She has another issue. It's her mom too. So it doesn't have to be everybody, but I have seen that pattern. I can tell you, you guys are just very intelligent, and I want you to know that you are beautiful. So you have a blend of psychopathy plus love. So it's weird. That would be hard for you to be yourself. You have dark urges that you can't do. Okay, Pisces, your advice is to follow also procedure and policy, but accept the fact that you have a dark, dirty mind, but also you have an emotional sign. You are a lover. And your natural home state is in the darkest, most murkiest parts of the water. So those three, you have a triangle. You are like the Bermuda Triangle thing right here. You are that's crazy. You are like the, whatever is that what you call it, the Bermuda? You disappear. Pisces do disappear. They're just like there and then they're gone. So don't think, you need to know who you are. Who are you? What are your roots with, like, really what you are, babe? God made you that way. That's so beautiful. Pisces are so beautiful. I would really love to see some Pisces and some Geminis and some Leos find true love this year for sure. You guys are a beautiful sign. You guys have your natures, but again, when you're looking at the natural state, you cannot be mad at a psychopath. Their brain it was never born with empathy. It can't feel bad. You have natural urges. So then your sign is, everybody, like, they just want to be like, oh, what Martha said. Well, why is Martha bossing people around? And did she look angelic? And if all those pass, then now I want you to picture God in the room. He's supposedly promoting Martha to speak on his behalf because he can't do that. You think that fucking this bitch needs to fucking tell you shit for God? Especially when God's like, that bitch crazy, that bitch crazy, that bitch crazy. You think your brain, your heart, your soul, your body, she's right, he's right? No. You're being called into service. What your weakness seems to be for whoever is here is you seem to be a personality B, which is not my type. Like, there's the dominant fucking loud ass motherfuckers that walk in the room and we're like, hey, get the fuck out there and do the yard, and we just tell you what the fuck to do. Where a B is very organized. You would never have your cards in a box like this. So you would be like, who was here on Friday? This desk is disgusting. And we're like, oh my, this is me 10 minutes later. Oh my God, Sally, do you want a candy? No. Okay, so that's the difference. It's easy peasy. Some of it's just personality A and B. That's the truth. And if you look those up, they are very different. So when you're dealing with somebody who's super impatient, personality A does not care. We don't need to know. We don't even like schedule. We're very spontaneous. We won't even commit to schedule. Where B is the complete opposite. They will lose their shit if it's out of alignment. So with respect, both people need to understand that based off of those naturals, B needs you to be respectful to them. Like, no matter what, A has to respect B. B is actually really smart. They might even be smarter than us guys. You have to also be able to admit the truth. B is smart. They're fucking vindictive. And they will try to take you out. But if you B's weakness is wanting other people's victories and sitting behind the scenes and not wanting to fucking. You guys hate A because we're so fucking loud and annoying, and you just feel like you could do the job better, and you can. So you need to. All you need to do, babe, is be with a leader who's looking to be a real leader. I love promoting my bees. I just trained another one. She ended up screwing herself because she tried to keep snitching people off to corporate, and I told her, man, you can do whatever you want to do, but you got to understand, man, there's two types of people in the workplace. And if people find out that you're straight writing declarations against them, that's not going to go. And I didn't tell her, like, I trained her all the way through. She didn't get it. Neither one of them did, dude. I'm telling you, don't. And I didn't even talk crap about them because I've had moments in the past where I have actually mentioned what I thought. It don't get you nowhere. I even had a boss one time write me up for talking. He said I was arguing with who he was going to give the promotion to. No, I was not. I was telling you that person you picked has been talking about taking your fucking job and how much you suck. And maybe you might want to consider hiring somebody else. Like the person that he chose was he had manipulated him. He got him. And I got wrote up for even mentioning that. I don't care. Now I just think if you're stupid as a CEO and you want to have evil people with you, go ahead. I don't care. But yeah, life's going to be fine. I love you. Good luck's on your side because you're doing something right. And they'll say 7 of Swords, fine. Do whatever you want. That's why you're going to do what you need to do. Because people are going to not like what you're doing. You're like, what's new, bitch? I don't like your fucking face. And you haven't fucking turned it around in a long time. My mom always used to tell me, fuck you, Tara. She'll say, if you don't like it, if you don't like it here, why don't you move out and get your own fucking house and make your own rules, and then you can do what you want. And I did. So make sure that whoever you're talking shit to doesn't program exactly your favorite fucking motto. Another thing I remember is just that somebody might always be telling you how hard it's going to be out here in the real world. I'm not going to lie. It is actually going to get hard for you out here. You need to survive out here realistically about $4,000 a month. Just a note to self. That's why you're going to want to probably move in with your mother, because after the kids turn about 9 and 10, they will determine which parent they will like, and most of the time they will choose the narcissistic parent. The narcissistic parent has been actually talking to them in a way that has been pre-training, because there's genetics within your children, and basically an event will occur, and that's what flips on the narcissistic switch within the child. Another thing that you need to know within, if there's a child in your house that's very, very close to the other parent, they actually have, with their disorder, their emotional connection to them is not just the same as a lover's, but it's like the same as a psychopathic lover. Like when that child sees you two together, I've been picking up this image of a child watching you guys watch TV when you may or may not know. And you're laughing together. Anytime you have fun together, that child is actually viewing. If you have a child of anyone's in the room, I didn't know this until I studied this class like over the last year, and I was very concerned. Basically, those movies where that child's observing that parent, they have an emotional connection to that parent that is like a psychopathic lover. You can picture like a surrogate mother that was chosen by a wonderful and happy, successful couple, and she was trusted, and then all of a sudden she starts wanting the husband behind the back. Okay. And they literally start to become like psychopathically jealous of the parent's partner. So their first move will be they will treat the parent that they don't want near. They basically fall in love with the parent, and they tend to get you two divorced. And you could have felt like that. You could feel like one of the kids on one side or the other, actually, and it is actually an emotional connection in that way. It's very disturbing. Those are the movies. Those are the crime stuff where you see the kid actually, the parent to be with the dad. It's true. You'll notice that person's eyes are very deep, almost demonic, and you might be doing something at random, and you turn around and they're just there staring. You have somebody very dark and possibly young watching you. You need to be watching for that person. That person is, it could be the person that I'm picturing. Maybe that's the girl with the light hair or whatever, the brown, but you have a feminine energy definitely that is watching every move that you make and reporting back to your man. They may or may not have a deeper relationship than you realize. This is within your family. It could be in your home or just a little bit outside of your home, for sure. And your partner knows exactly what's going on here. This person is aware of women doing this. He's aware of this type. He's not planning on leaving you. He's planning on breaking you down so that you never leave. So I learned that too a couple weeks ago, that their goal was actually, it says that some of you might even be feeling like you're really defeated and you don't know what to do anymore. And so you are thinking about doing that. And it's saying that actually they would be devastated, supposedly, if we did that. And that no matter how crappy they ever make us feel, that supposedly that would be, but it's true because according to their disorder, when you're their feed, that's what they feed off of, is our energy. So every time you give them a reaction of uncomfortableness, you just gave them some fuel for their car. Their disorder is that when you're happy, it makes them sick. And when they're unhappy, it makes you sick. And when you try to make them happy, they get sick. They're allergic to happy. It's the Grinch, you know? And so just being aware that, I guess most people don't want to be happy. I didn't know that. And it's because they don't want to put the work in. And I'm sure you've noticed that. I'm sure you've listened to a lot of people complain over and over, and you just keep seeing that maybe they have the same issue in the next relationship. You just notice patterns. And you start to be able to not help but see this person is the problem. And you be nice, and maybe you don't say anything. Maybe you're a friend who's kind. Maybe you do say something and you lose friends for saying it. Whatever the case, you start noticing it all over. We're starting to just see that everybody's just, I guess, even okay with the problem, even as far as our president being accused of trafficking, and even our cash apps flagging his accounts and it being proven. And he's still on there some reason. That's just crazy. I don't know what everybody's doing here. I don't really know. It's just what it is. All I can do is announce it on the way through, drop off some documents, and give it to the higher up and give it to God. But what we can't do is know that as these things ever pass by you, if you don't say something, then in the future, when shit hit the fan, you will never not know. You'll be like, man, what if I should have said something that day? She would have been alive. What if you knew? What if you knew they were using? That's why I call people and I have to tell their parents when you're on fentanyl. I've lost a couple of friends. Edward's mad at me and Katie's mad at me, and I didn't know my dad was on fentanyl, or I would have been dealing with it. And I'm not judging. I'm just scared to lose you. And I have a few more friends that I've learned since then, and there is one that I wouldn't tell on anything though, because I love her very much, and I feel like some people are smart as fuck. She reminds me of my friend Danielle. And some women just have old souls. And your energy in particular has been coming up, and I want you to know that may not resonate with everyone, but you're kind of resonating with me with that girl from the 8th story and what her dad was doing to her. And so if that resonates with you and that's been eating you up inside, and you were ever like, if you ever went through something wherever anyone violated you and it was out of your control, that's something that you're safe dealing with here. And the cool thing about our nonprofit organization is that we're just going to be a group of people who help you guys, and we are not CPS or police affiliated. We love, I like the police. I don't have a problem with them, and I've been arrested a lot of times. I'm just asking you to please do something when you put those cuffs on me. That matters. But I don't have a problem with the police because I have accountability. I've never had the police actually do anything that was outside of their policy or procedure. And when they do, like, I feel like the Ephrata Police Department is not honest. Absolutely. And I'll be honest as I work through this. I don't care these are my opinions. These are my investigations. That's what I think. And that's all we can really do. You don't have to fucking agree to no one. Whenever God gives you an alert it's because he wants you to do something with that shit. It says the light workers come face to face with stupid bitches that most people believe. And they will, and they do. They're so dumb. They actually follow the trend, and we're laughing our balls off, and we're like, when they do their mocking TikTok videos. And you're like, what the fuck? Well, I got 5 fucking emails from Tyga saying he likes it when I shake my ass like a fucking juicy hood rat. So you keep your fucking dick doc fucking videos too. That's the stupidest shit ever. Who the fuck sits there and actually fucking memorizes? And you guys are copycat weirdos. So you're copycat. You like that video so much that you've memorized it now and you call that being cool? I call that a waste of fucking time and a copycat in psychology. You're actually a girl who, or a guy who is so obsessed with a certain few things. We call you trend followers. You're a joke in all of the society of the beauty industry and all the fashion. You're the person that gets targeted. We blast your bank accounts. You are linked up. If you think your stylist likes you in most places, she fries your fucking hair. And then she sends you home with fucking shampoo and tells you that you have to buy that because you color your hair. No, you don't. Your stylist could do it correctly too. And you're so dumb, you actually believe her because you don't do the research. No, actually, all of the people who follow trend followers, all of your leaders are pimping you out for money. And you actually spend time actually literally copying another person. So you're a copycat. You copycat. And then you try to look, you have filters on your phone. You edit it. You refuse to even take pictures on other people's phone because there's no filter. So you're insecure and you're fake. I mean, where in the fuck do you want me to go with this? Anyways, I made it already to the top 7% now in OnlyFans global models just from making fart noises. So I would say that you should start being authentic. And if you're not, you're going to probably go with the same group of people that hopefully a paper airplane will direct them towards. Because we only have about 16% natural water resources left. So I can imagine the trend followers are going to be the best bet. We don't care, by the way, what you think is cool. We don't even think you're cool. We notice that you fucking follow everybody and their dog turd around and that you'll fuck each other over at any given minute if fucking this person's more popular. And you know what's funny? The people you don't think is cool, we're the ones who fucking are at the global hair shows behind the scenes. And you know what a trend is? It's people that bring in their collection. If you have a license and you were like, I want to apply for this hair show, the hair show will have a theme because that's what fashion does. We theme it. Same thing as any photo shoot. It begins with a artist who has a theme, and then they just bring in their collection. They say this one's for Halloween. They could say this is our year collection for dresses. Whatever the theme is, what happens is everyone who is an artist of that area, if you're a tattoo artist, you get to go to these global competitions. And then there's a table of people and you're voted out until you're a global winner. So anyone can literally compete and you're voted as the winner. And so if you really think that that is how you should ride your life out. And do you know why the people that you think are not cool don't pay attention to you? Because we created the shit you're following and we're taking all your money and we wear normal clothes. Why we don't spend money on a bunch of shit? Because our sisters steal it and shit. So it was like, no, I'm not doing it. No, that's actually the truth. Anyone who's not paying attention, they do know what's going on. They don't care. So wherever you're at with life, just move on with it and do whatever you're going to do. You're all going to die. There's nothing you can do about it. You like this? This is your new attitude. Now, this is going to be exciting in honor of Martin, dude. And I'll tell you what, if I've ever come to you and you didn't do the policy and the procedure, we're not talking what you thought of me. I'm coming to now investigate your job. Sucks because a lot of you are old. Just keep picturing you in an orange jumpsuit. They say God keeps you hidden through these times because you had a good heart. You saw the truth. And if they would have known who you really were, they would have stopped you from doing this right now. Okay, we gotta look serious though, not like a trash bag.
DeMarco, I'm about to spark flow. Your bark so harsh, but parts gon' make your heart glow. Blood, it don't be buzzing me, cussing me, bugging me. If I dust, I mean months, these clubs really loving me. It hurts my nigga to hurt my nigga, but hurt my nigga is what's inspiring these spurts, my nigga. At first, my nigga used to be my homie, used to be my age.
When you're honest, you don't need people to agree with you. You need to just know who didn't and know that they're not safe. We'll go for them later. Another thing I want to do is I want to, dude, I just get so excited about taking people out the right way. Being that every one of Glenn's other children passed away from suicide, what we can look at to deal with that, if you think that there's been somebody who's involved with possibly doing, because we already know that they broke into Glenn's accounts. Pam admitted that. Pam is coming in from Spokane and Glenn is in California, and so that's going to be all really easy to track. That is a federal crime. You do not hack somebody's email and then speak on their own behalf. She's very abusive in the messages too. If Martin's trying to talk to what he thinks is his father, her responses are so dry and really cruel. They say things like, "Did you even take your medication today, Martin? You really need to go to the doctor and take your medication. You're acting," it was actually really cruel. And there would be so many times when you could tell Martin was like trying to talk the right way to what he felt like his father was like she was actually really mean to him. So that's like a whole nother charge right there. You literally hack shit and it's coming from your fucking location, you dumbass. And like all of these phones, which one would you use? Let me see. Let's see, because you're a dumbass and all of these emails. I mean, I even have what you did, Pam. Stupid fuck. So who doesn't? You're an idiot. Oh, AT&T. So by law, we're investigating a murder, and AT&T can now release, no matter what, we're going to be connecting your location to your EMIE number. So it doesn't matter. IMIE, what the fuck, look, you fucking looking like a dweeb. We know Martin's died already at this point. We can see that the font has changed multiple times now. You look up fucking vacations, the Bahama cruise? Girl, you a fucking moron. Straight. I mean, unbelievable. And a problem here. We're now going to have to look into see what you've done. You've gotten all these people now in trouble. And I did try to turn this into the Liberty Police Department, and you guys didn't listen. So now we have to now go into all these things. Now we're looking into the phone company's going to have to look and see where this came from. We have you hacking into all the emails, which we can locate too. You are abusively abusing a person. You're telling them to go get on medications and switch their medication up. I mean, come on. You're the leader of a fucking church group at Life Center, and literally you fuck up, you text off of his phone from your location. I can see it. You're a moron. And I want you to know that you didn't get away with this, okay? Oh my God. So what I'm gonna do, cell phone password. Charles Marcus, I don't know who you are. Hopefully you weren't involved. Brittany, building maintenance application. Andrew Dow, I'm really wondering about that. Uh-oh, did you do something for your mom, Andrew? You're giving me some weird feelings. He was watching me a lot during the whole thing, and he's somebody who looks like he's literal doofy, like with respect, like, but like he doesn't speak. We've never seen him, and I was wondering, he was appearing to look almost like I'm not gonna lie with respect, like kind of looked like he was like, crushing on me or anything, but he wasn't one of the speakers, so I was like, I wasn't sure. And now I actually feel like, did she have him do that? I would have no doubt she would have her own child do something like that. But my concern about the thing is that 2 clients, we had 3 students that say there was a video uploaded to YouTube, so we need to look into that. And now that I actually work for them, I'm going to see what we can do, because I was like I didn't do any of the social media stuff. Maybe we can get that turned in as well. We can retrieve that, even though you deleted it, because it does say you can delete whatever you want, but it's supposed to be subpoenaed. So since we already asked for that, now we got to go back in and we're going to have to look at all the people that were responsible for investigating it all the time. Don't ever feel like that it's over. Just know that whoever didn't do it the correct way didn't follow policy and procedure. There also another problem, big problem. I had to actually investigate after the students told me what they saw in that video. There was 3 of them, and they were very upset, right? And I didn't ask them anything. They came to me and they were like, oh my gosh, Miss Dina, we just saw this video on YouTube, and they told me everything that I saw. How would they have known that, you guys? And when I went to turn it in, everybody told me they just ruled it out as an instant suicide. They didn't even look. I thought that was so weird. And so realistically, I thought, well, why would it have been uploaded? Well, because maybe they needed to prove it happened from a distance. And they thought that maybe that would have been the best or safest place. Maybe they didn't feel like they could send a direct message, like it would link them. It can link from your phone, you stupid fuck. You have a location on whenever you do anything from your Google account, and all times for that reason. So they're not obviously educated. And where would the distance have gone? It would have went to Jennifer. She's the only one out of town. They wouldn't have needed, or I mean, I guess, I feel like anybody in town realistically would just know that he's, I don't really know. There was a payout obviously done, clearly. The only other option would be that fucking Martin was in debt with fucking doing YOLO with Siobhan. And that would have been that. Well, he did put a few little hunts out. He hired a student as he was so fucking stupid, dude. He drove me crazy. He would wear a cowboy hat every time we would get high. Oh my gosh. You just knew every time you seen him in a cowboy hat, show was going down. He got weird, I'm not gonna lie. He did disrespect the kids. But I didn't tolerate it. He was supposed to go to treatment. Fucker said he went. He didn't. He went to Hawaii, took a hooker, and he drained another bank account. Do you think that I am agree with what he did? No, I am not in agreement. But I don't kill people for inheritance and stuff like that. This was like a thing based off of like literal like greed. This is all about the school, people wanting it, and like you can't go that far, guys, and it's gonna be easy. Because if they don't do their job correctly, then that's fine. You could take it higher, you can take it higher, you can take it higher. And all that's going to happen is if when we get to the highest of the highest, if people still keep covering for certain officials, it's obvious that what's going to end up happening is 2 things. We're either going to the people that know what's going on are just going to choose to live the last little bits of whatever time they have on Earth peacefully and doing their own thing, or there's going to end up being a civil war with respect, because people they know what's going on. And just like in a workplace, you can't just ignore problems. Even at my boss's location a while back, she had 5 of them leave on her all at once. Well, those are the same 5 that every other location fired, but she wanted money, and so she collected them. But they were all complaining to her too, and her own advice was, oh, you know what, whenever mine complain to me, I just tell them, yeah, oh man, thanks for letting me know. She's like, but I just tell them I'll do something about it. She's like, but I actually don't. And she's like, all they want to know is that, she's like, just tell them that you're going to do something. They just want to feel heard. That is actually not what anybody like me wants to feel like. We actually want to know we work for an honest leader, because we're fully aware of what people like you do, and we don't want to spend 60 to 70% of our time not still making enough money to be driven to work harder, to know that we actually don't matter. So just be knowing that. I love you guys. I'm gonna
Remember we used to kick it like bros. Now you niggas act like bitches.
go handle these hoes. I never know what I'm gonna do when I wake up. Do you guys like that? Want to talk about wiggle, wiggle, wiggle? Okay, so that's what we're gonna do though. It's either eat or be eaten, and if you stay behind after you acknowledge it anymore, God's not coming for you, babe. Nobody can come for you anymore. What do you want anybody to do? I realize that myself. And we can't play victim after you have our first realization. And from what I've learned, you don't, no, nothing gets better. Yeah, see, I'm very smart. This is the first time I've revealed these documents. I'm not stupid. When somebody dies, for me, I grab your important documents and I grab your most used digital device, because that's what you're going to need for an investigation. You cannot trust to hand any of these things over. I stepped out of this career because it is case by case, as you guys can see, with like everything that's going on in the higher ups. But that's okay, because if they want to put the fear into people that, like, for example, Cash App flagged it automatically and he reported it, that's fine, that guy's safe. Who did he give it to next that threatened him and stopped it? Also, you know, we need to look at, there's other ways that you can do it. We can target more companies than just the one. People think that if they, oh, well, she did it, if they well, of course they hired somebody in between us to stop us from saying that. There's plenty of officials that get payouts for doing things, clearly, it seems like. It's hard to, it sucks to say it and look at it, but it seems like that's gotta be the case. And so other things that you can do is, like, they're clearly going to whoever has the information and threatening them. That's what's stopping people, is fear of involvement, blackmail, being uneducated, not having their own secrets out in the open. So do whatever you need to do to solve your own cases. Because some of you guys want justice in a matter and you feel like you have other areas of your life that may need to be cleaned up, or maybe aren't even a problem right now. Maybe people are just making you feel like things are scary. I can tell you right now, you see everything that's on my fucking channel, bro. And I have everything from police officers on here to fire department to CPS, works, everything you think of. And if you're not getting problems already over near you and headed your way, why would this person all of a sudden think that why are you a piece of shit? Obviously, you're not doing anything to break the law. Follow the law. You're allowed to have a drink. You're allowed to fucking shake your booty. That is not illegal. But what is actually illegal or inappropriate and a very big concern would be if you actually ever showed anybody how this person talks to you on a regular basis. You dancing even naked and them coming in. Do you go I don't go dance in anybody else's personal space. I have an account that is my own account. I have a business license. I pay taxes. I do everything legal. I do not go and bother anyone. And so what they're saying is that they come and seek my channels out and dislike who I am as a person. And they believe that that's even necessary enough for them to even come in as God and say, I'm going to hell. I'm cringe. All the things, like, we have to look at all those things and be like, that is actually super immature. You're a grown person. There's a lot of content on here that I don't watch, and I don't ever just go harass people and sit there all day long and just talk about what I don't like. So as long as you can start becoming more secure within yourself, a lot of you are following people that are following a trend. And I'll tell you what, that person probably doesn't know how to fight zombies. Can you make a fire outside? Can you use a machete? Do you even know how to use any tools? What are you gonna do in the event if anything happens? They're taking away already our generators and any gas-powered tools. It's already illegal in California. That doesn't make sense. Gas is. Those are. If you guys actually pay attention to the things that are being reduced, we are. And I have 3 government officials that are on the team, and they're innocent. They don't know what team they're on. Because I'm a genius. They're my clients. I do their hair color because that's the best way. A hairstylist is the #1 person in the world that knows the most about their clients. We beat every other career. No counselor knows more than a hairstylist knows. I'm very strategic when I choose career paths. Basically, the whole time I've been telling myself I'm an undercover criminal. So I've been in and out of the jails. I have been behind the scenes in every department possible. And now we know all the laws. And we also know the personality types. So now we come up with a POA. And we make moves. It's been a long process. It's been about, for sure, I had to study up for years on this stuff. But this one has been about an 8-year project, particularly. It's taken me about 8 years. But in total, I'm not gonna lie, since 2007 was the law thing. Law started for me in 7 because when you are dealing with anything legal, you will figure out what not to do real fucking quick. But you wanting to speak up on behalf of justice here, that matters. Like I keep saying, I keep going back to it, but whoever sold that radar system to our people. See, the Twin Towers should have never went down. We have supposed, what is it? Is it the military or something that is supposed to protect it? They have their things. And the company who we trusted to buy the computer systems from has never been really brought up and targeted. Whenever anybody who does any sales does a sale, they come in with their thing and they want to speak to a manager. This happens everywhere. This is how you get your new product going. So what you're telling me is they supposedly came in and they swore to God that their computer system would do what? Make sure that they was doing exactly what that does. There's a radar detecting system that straight up was supposed to guarantee our safety. And there's also ISIS that kept coming in. Didn't they come in and do some weird shit and then we couldn't find them for a while? Very well. Who's in charge of that department here? I want to know. Really, though. If you say, you're like, oh, man, that's terrible. That is really terrible. A lot of people, you know what they do to deal with their stupid, weird shit? They fucking celebrate now and do a holiday for the 11, or was it 2/11 or 10/11? I don't even know. It was September 11th. My sister died December 10th of that year. So it was hard for us to put it both together. But I do remember it was a blurry year that year, man. But no, let's go. And now we are coming back in a professional point of view. Okay. As a business person and even just doing this as a job and cash up even occurring and knowing that guy handled it. The only person so far I see that's ever handled anything correctly is that dude that fucking reported Biden's fucking transactions. And then somebody, who did he report it to? So this is an easy way to go. He reported it to someone and they stopped it clearly because it just fades away. We will no longer be letting anything fade away. We want you to follow your own laws, rules, and regulations, period. No one can, these people have a lot against us. Maybe they don't have criminal records. It doesn't matter if I have a criminal record. It matters if you did anything in particular to improve from that particular crime. If you slap your girlfriend, go take a fucking anger management class. If you get a DUI, you will take a fucking treatment class for fucking alcohol. You will only have to do an assessment. You either do anger management or you do treatment, period. If you're struggling with financial and you need a place to stay, you would then focus on your housing. It is not a crime to be broke. It is not a crime to be without a job. Nobody's going to sit there and tell you that you ain't going to qualify for your fucking kids, because that's a lie. You can literally have almost nothing, a broke down fucking piece of shit trailer, even with holes in it, and it can be a hoarder unit. But as long as the kids are doing good in school and they've went to their doctor's appointments, you can be even with $300 to make it work. They're looking to see who knows the kids' schedule, and if they're safe and healthy, that's it. They don't care about how you, if they have skin disorders, shit, that's gonna be a problem. But like literally, dude, there is policy and procedures in place, and the only people that have been in between us really doing anything and taking over have been liars and truly like very abusive manipulators. These people are the offspring of people that, you know, were hateful. Who cares? We are too. Fucking these people obviously have naturally hateful traits. And I know that many of them have had the opportunity to do the right thing. And you did do the right thing. And I know that nobody's been on your side. I know that you've been trying to speak up and make people hear you. Well, that's fine, because now, no matter what, if there's ever a situation like that's how Biden got brought to me, all these get brought to me to look into. And I like the blend of the different things I've researched, because between all the different things and the policies and procedures, it's not going to matter. If one person doesn't do their job correctly and doesn't turn it into the higher ups, they usually trusted this person over here. They're little clickies, you know, the clicky girls. And you know, they even have a thing called whistleblowing that says that if you tell on people at work, it's called whistleblowing. That seems racist, but yeah, you'll get kicked out at work. I see it happen all the time. And if you don't want to deal with it, you still have to go up the chain of command, and you have to be professional. You cannot be emotionally unstable. You need to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You have to be able to back your argument and just know what you can and can't do within these places, and then they're not going to be on your side. Nobody that tells people that, like, what to do anyway, they're not on these people's sides anyway. If something were to break loose and anything bad happened, do you think this person's going to come and make sure that you're okay? No, they're not. They're going to throw you out in the fucking full rules and make them eat you first. They're going to decide which one of you fuckers is going first all the way to the last. They're going to try to survive. So that's the difference. It's your choice. You don't have, I don't really care what anybody does, but I just know that if you fuck with anybody in our group, it's lifelong. It's lifelong. It's lifelong. It really is. Because I don't even think we're going to make you a resort to enjoy. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with you. I think we'll do some nonprofit organizations, and if anybody needs help now in the future that is toxic, we're going to refer you to one of our centers for help, and then they can redirect you where you need to go. We're not, God asked me not to even be there for you at all. I feel like God told me that he was withholding my blessings because these people are not safe. And they've been taking advantage of us, and we may have good hearts, but we're asking him to bless us. And he's telling us that he does have a blessing for you, a beautiful one. But just like with presents, you don't get to choose. And he's saying, my blessing for you is so much larger than you can ever imagine. And he's like, I would love to be able to switch it around for you basically and give you a different present, but that's not how it works. I have this present for you, and this particular present is so big, and I need you to be able to do what I need you to do with it. And he said, basically, your present is so cool that other people will see it, and they're going to congregate your way, and they're going to be everything that you ever wanted them to fucking be. And if you're not strong in who you are and you don't realize this right now, you would have given your blessing to them, and they would have taken advantage of it. And so I understood that. I thought, that's cool. He does have things for us. He is holding them accountable. He's asking us to just, at the moments when you feel like something's not right, you need to listen to yourself and then elevate it. Because elevation doesn't mean that people respect you because you're a good person. It means that you set boundaries and let people know they can't disrespect you. Because the emperor and the empress is not looking to fit in. They rule like the Wizard of Oz. And they are below. They are a higher up. They are your fucking board. You don't see the big dogs. Rarely see them. They are not the fucking walk through people even at work? Do you think to walk through people with the iPads that are supervising you, you think an interview might be nervous? You think a date might be nervous? These are bigger. This is like if Jesus himself came down for the day. You know what I mean? Like these are your Hierophant ups. Like your Hierophant. God. This is the Hierophant. You're asking God to give you a universal promotion. Well, if God says share your blessings, what kind of promotion are you looking for? You want him to bless you with idiocy, like where you can believe that people that don't like you do? What exactly are you asking him for? A mean, hateful, evil person that doesn't want to change to be nice to you? Or do you want him to bring the Men in Black down and have your brain literally freaking like that little thing click and makes you forget everything you've ever known and you can be ignorant again? Do you want more money? Where would you get promoted if your boss knew that there was a certain person or certain people who could dictate or change a decision because you had a weakness for them? You're not safe for the company. That means that somebody can tell you what you're going to do. It's bigger. You might be a good person, but can you be trusted to be in charge of your blessing? Because right now your goodness makes it to where you're too caring, you're too giving, and your biggest dream, it seems like, actually is not success, not fame, it's for love. Some of your biggest dreams is for someone to truly love you. And it sounds like you're going to have that, but you need to. So I'm feeling like there's a mixture here. You have a uniqueness now. Hang on. So if your biggest dream is for someone to bless you, why were we talking about financial? It says cruel past and energy shift. Some of you guys have to work on forgiveness. Creeper. So some of you guys need to be clear on what you want for creeper. Are you like stalking people and just like watching them from afar? Authentic. So this person's teaching you probably how to be authentic with your cruel past, which is good. We did talk about Pisces earlier in the void in reverse. And I think it was fine. I think a lot of you like, just like with me, we've been talking to everybody that is actually the abuser. They're the ones that made you feel like you couldn't talk about it or you were disgusting. Do they not? Yes, you do. That's why I was saying, who are the halters in your life? Because I think a lot of times you've been very joyful in the past. And one of their strategies that they use is just devaluing a person. They make you feel like everything you think is stupid. And that's when you walk in and you say it and you keep saying, nothing I ever do makes you happy. It seems like you don't like anything about me. No, they intentionally do that. If they see it brings you their card I made for them, you enjoy, I destroy. So if you want to do some reverse psychology with these people, instead try it out. Say, I love red cars. Say you hate it. So you know this person will never buy you a red car now. Do like anything you want, do it the opposite. Trick them around. Something you'll see with a person that does this type of thing is when you change, they're used to how you act. And that is what we do. We'll sit there and think, I'm going to do everything exactly the way they want it done. And I'm going to do it the perfect way. And maybe if I do it perfect, they're actually going to be nice. No, they're going to keep doing what they do because that's their regular schedule. So what you're going to do is you're going to play around with your reactions. You're not going to be hateful or vindictive. But like one of the things they say to do is next time they tell you to do another fucking thing because you're tired. Some of you are tired of doing something for this fucker. Just keep doing whatever it is that you're doing and calmly just say, no, I cannot do that for you. And then just carry on with your day. Because there's somebody who claims to demand respect. And so this would go against what they are normally used to. It's not saying it in a way that is disrespectful necessarily, and it kind of leaves it open for them to almost like get a face expression. You may not, if you have a chance to look up and glance at it, do, but it's more funnier if you stay busy like you're working on a document. I always pretend like I'm carrying a document around or I'm working on a document. If I'm in the workplace, I will actually carry a blank clipboard that sometimes it says "Go fuck yourself, Sandy," and then I carry it close to my chest. And every time I walk by this particular person, I always keep it too close to my chest for them to read it, but it looks like I'm carrying something really important. And then I'll know their typical way. They always approach you. So if you got somebody in the office approaching you, carry a document. Never have your hands empty. That person's used to approaching you during your body language looking like that. So at the same time, you obviously still need to pass for the same reasons. Nothing's changed, but your appearance looks different. And they've studied you before targeting you, and so this throws them off a little bit. They're the type that actually target and study before. They might be abusive, but they think like a bee, and so do you. So you at least have that advantage. You can at least know that an abusive person is very organized and strategic as targeting. They don't go spontaneous. So you have that advantage right there. And by throwing them off and just being polite, they have nothing against you. If they want to keep talking shit, because they always use something, a weakness, like if you're sad, hurting, they're going to always use that against you later. They do it because they just want to break your soul down. They think they're going to get more by beating you up inside, but really it just kills you off and it makes you less. They lose in the end. And that there's just two groups going. The people that have enough and they're fine with sticking up for themselves, and then everybody else will be left behind. So that's just how get the fuck up here, dick. How the fuck do you think that is? It's always the bullies. Come on, shoot the fuck up. I always think it's the cops. It's just the Mormons. I'm such a fucking convict. They're always trying to get me to go to the church. They think I'm a fucking prophet. Me running from the police. Dude, every time I don't give a fuck. Nobody answers. Hazel, shut the fuck up, dude. I don't know why I always think I have a warrant. Shut the fuck up, bitch. I could stick your hand out the window. Hi, guys.